Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 172 of Stat Check. It is the 17th of February, 2026, and this episode is titled It's a Pirate's Life for Me, because we're going to be talking about Pyra and the new pirates for Eldar and Gale Space Marines. Yes, I was very proud of this one. I hope everybody's doing wonderful today. I'm Ennis. I'm joined by Nathan and Anthony, and we're here to talk all things Warhammer. We've got stats, we've got breakdowns, we've got lists. We're going to talk a little bit about the USC team comp, what they brought. We're not going to focus too much on the insane amount of Pyra stuff because we'll let the End of the Matrix boys do that on tomorrow when they record. We'll let them have a proper breakdown of it, but we'll chat a little bit about some of it. But yeah, let's get into it, guys. Thank you everyone for being with us. Anthony, how you been, man?
Play Necrons, bro. I'm doing great. Ignore my lovely hoodie that Sam got for me. This was my pairing card while we were at LVTT. So Sam made this in paint and then sent it to a website and then sent me a hoodie. Incredible. It's one of my favorite gifts I've ever gotten. This thing's fucking awesome. Yeah, I'm playing Necrons, dude. It's hard to have a bad day when you're playing Necrons, you know? That's pretty much it. You know, I'm just walking the -1 damage shit forward, not dying, continuing to walk forward. Yay. High-level gameplay. If my Pyro opponents are looking for any advice, I would recommend auto-seeing me on the objectives. So, good luck with that. Let me know how it goes. And, yeah, I don't really have anything else, so just get ready for Pyro.
Well, you're off to Pyro this weekend. Tell us about what your thoughts are. What are you excited about?
So we got our pods today. So we are playing against, in order, Austria, and then Germany, and then Poland B, captained by Typhus.
Yeah. That's a good fun pod.
So yeah, it should be a grand old time. I like a lot of the people in our pod. It should be fun. Apparently, we just play Austria now. Austria has become the new Denmark for this season, where we played them at WTC, and then we're just going to play them every single opportunity we have to play them, apparently. So yeah, it should be fun. For those who don't know, Pyra is a prep event that a bunch of the national teams go to in Poland. The one in February is specifically, you know, they start at rank 1 and they invite teams going down the ladder until they have a full event or have run out of teams. So the February one is a bit tough. As mentioned, our pod is, you know, kind of the ones that I said. The other one is Poland's A team, France, Belgium, and Sweden, which is
a nice soft landing for.
That's a tough, you know. Welcome to Tier 1, Belgium. Godspeed. So yeah, it'll be fun. It's probably my favorite event outside WTC that I do through the year. Just because getting to see everybody is great, and I love being in Poland. Poland fucking rocks. So yeah,
you going soup hunting?
Yeah, dude, I fucking love that soup. The Zurich, dude, the fucking rye bread soup slams. So yeah, things would be pretty good. We leave Thursday. Dan and me and Upstate Dan are shipping out down to JFK where we meet Folger, and then the three of us fly to Warsaw.
But most importantly, Anthony, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who are your 8 players and what are their 8 factions?
My 8 players are the following. It is me on Necrons playing Star Shatter with way too many points of -1 damage and Zeros and Necrosaur. Brian Dougherty, or I will never pronounce his last names correctly. We call him Brino now because he plays only armies with rhinos. So he is Brino for forever. Write it down, folks, if you need to refer to this man. His name's Brino.
That's reasonable, I think.
Yeah, it helps us differentiate between the Bryans as well. It's a good nickname. He is playing Renegade Warband CSM, which looks like an Emperor's Children list that swaps its fucking princes for Vindicators, and that's basically what that is. What else we got? We got Mr. Sipe on Sisters. He's playing Champions of Faith. Then we have...
Dangerous one. I've heard Brian loves Sisters.
Brian likes Sisters for small windows of time. So if we can just get this to be the small window of time, we're good. We've got Glenn on Tau, as expected. Montca, I believe, the faster lethal one. The the fucking Corncob Chris, the Golden King. Folger Piles is on Custodes. We've got John Lennon playing Ultramarines. We've got Michael Mann on Sint, and we round off our roster with the young, the powerful, the feared Nemo the Fish on Recon Guard. So it's a pretty good team.
Certainly a murderer's row of the US, isn't it?
Yeah, so I guess now is a good time to talk about this as any. We've kind of changed our process this year as Team USA a little bit. So rather than treating the WTC cycle as, essentially 11 months of stress, fear, and prep, culminating in one event that we are all shattered by the end of, we have taken a new approach, which will be treating the year as a year-long season, basically, that has 3 events in it, which will be for us, Pyra, Home Nations, and then WTC.
I think it's a much better approach to the year because it makes the year feel less all or nothing, right? Because you have a whole bunch of stuff you can really work towards and play for.
There's a couple release valves, right? You can be like, okay, we're doing this, and then we take a little break, and then we're doing this, and then we take a little break, right? Particularly like this year, right, with the assumed new edition, being able to just be like after Home Nations, be like, hey, take fucking 3 weeks and go do something the fuck else is, good, right? Because it's low impact at that point, right? But we'll kind of see how it goes. But I think in general, it'll be a lot healthier for us. And then the outcome is that you see, like what our Pyra team is, right? Where it's, we're putting our as good a foot forward as we possibly can, given the constraints of, the usual stuff of who can go and making sure people get enough, chance to show that they should be starting. So yeah, I think we're in a really good spot. I think we are, definitely in the conversation to be able to win this one. And I think that, it's going to be what it's going to be. Even if the game is in a really terrible spot for the most part, we can, find ways to find joy by playing teams or Necrons. So
entirely reasonable. What team do you think is the biggest roadblock for you guys? Who has the most interesting comp? I don't want to run through all of them because, like I said, in the Matrix, you're going to be doing that. But who's the biggest threat, and what's worrying you about their comp?
So I'm pretty confident in our pod. I think we'll be pretty good through the queue there. Germany not taking a Necron list at all should, in theory, improve our matrix there, one could assume. But we'll see how much, that actually pans out in reality. So as far as like the early stuff goes, I think it'd probably be, you'd be hard pressed to not say Germany just because they're in our pod. And then from there, as ever, the French comp is super interesting. And
French just love a fucking horde, man.
They get after it, those boys. I would say if I had to look through it, I don't really know. Like, I think basically any of the teams in the other pod, if you were like, yeah, they drew and/or beat us, I'd be like, okay,
Yeah, fair enough.
It's pretty well rounded. So we'll see. But yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, for anyone who wants to follow along with Pyra, it will be streamed on Contact Lost on YouTube, I believe. So do keep an eye out for that. Yeah. Nathan, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you've been getting on?
I'm doing great. We have made some process changes to how we're doing stats updates, so we shouldn't fall behind anymore, which is good.
Yay!
It did involve me spending 8 hours on Discord calls with Jeremy, to get all that figured out, which was fun. It's always kind of neat. It's good to get to hang out with people is really the truth of it. It's very funny that it is just me watching Jeremy do Excel wizardry, essentially, while I try to figure out how I broke something. Other than that, I continue to paint Mountain of CSM stuff and slowly break my brain with trim. I'm painting everything Black Legion colors because then I can just paint whatever the fuck I want.
It's whatever it wants to be, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's whatever it wants to be. So Noise Marines, Black Legion's colors, but with purple shoulder pad. It's easy peasy.
That's my army.
To just, yeah. Honestly, I looked at the Black Legion page. I was like, fuck it. I can paint every Legion in black with a colored shoulder pad, and then no matter what, they can cycle in with one another.
Yes, it's the dream.
It doesn't matter. And then if I want to, I can make fancy looking demon princes and sub them around too.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah, other than that, not a terrible lot going on. I spent all day today reviewing posters for a conference for student researchers, um, which was normally automated, but they decided to make me do it by hand. So I have spent all day watching the fact that people with PhDs or pursuing PhDs or people with dentistry degrees cannot follow instructions sometimes.
That's a pretty random set of folks.
It's the College of Dentistry. So it's dental students, graduate students, and dentists doing their residencies, essentially.
Got it.
And sometimes you learn that people just, no matter how educated they are, cannot follow basic instructions of please put your thing in this format, in this thing.
Dude, if people could follow basic instructions, IT would not have to be a field.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It's gotten a lot better in some ways and some other things. Like in Warhammer 40K, when we first started doing stats, people couldn't do drop-down menus at all. So you get people like where me and Jeremy would go in by hand and check everybody's list because nobody knew how to use the fucking faction and sub-faction drop-downs. Now most event circuits penalize people with yellow cards if they do it incorrectly.
That helps.
And people have tended towards more uniform formats. So like web scrapers on BCP and stuff work a lot better for pulling out detachment data and faction data. Except for occasionally, like what I learned over the weekend, where a bunch of people just don't fucking upload lists, or they don't put in their detachment and you have to dig around for their enhancement, which is fun. But yeah, otherwise things are great. I've been watching Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and there was a big episode this week, and it was really cool.
Very, very, very solid show. I've been enjoying it a bunch.
Yeah, it's my favorite stories by George R. R. Martin. I'm glad that they did like a really faithful adaptation for them for HBO, which was great.
I heard it was really good.
So. It is really good. It's quite good. It does the thing that it needs to do really well, which is following a small, relatively intimate story about people, like at a relatively low level, and that's all it does. And it's good. Also, it has a great combat scene in the most recent episode.
Nice.
Where you just get to watch people in armor beat the shit out of each other for a little bit, and how much you slow down and brutalize one another once you've been hit a couple times that your body don't work no more.
It was like watching people in the in the NFL have a conversation after.
Yeah. there was also that part. How do you feel now that you've done this?
I don't. I feel the color red somehow.
I feel I feel both nauseous and sleepy and awake at the same time.
Yeah, it'll be good to see if it sticks the landing next episode.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about it. Everything seems to be going well, which is good. It's nice, on the personal micro level, at least.
Glad to hear it.
How about you, Ines? How are you doing?
I'm doing solid. I'm on my last day. This is my last day in London. I travel home tomorrow. I'm very excited about that. It turns out a month in someone else's house is a long time. As much as it's nice to be in Brian's place, it's not my place. So there's always a little bit of like, don't break anything. Be careful. Walk on eggshells all the time. Right, like just a little bit of that. So yeah, that's solid. Played a little RTT at the weekend with Thousand Suns. I'm debating if I'll have time to record a quick video on it on Thursday before I go to Manchester, because it was interesting. I think Thousand Suns are, having played them again, having not played them for like 18 months or so, man, that army is just miserable to play against, right? Like every single thing that Thousand Suns does is just a negative play experience, just 100% of the time, right?
Yep.
Like just spending the entire conversation of the game just walking your opponent out of pitfall traps constantly is like, just remember, if you do that, Magnus is can fly over there and just see you because his wing is stupidly tall, or he is stupidly tall and you're in the terrain,
or
his
he's
wing will
doing
fit through that gap, or I'll curve, he's like wanted bullet curving his brain spells, or I don't have fallback and shoot, but it'll feel like I do because I'm going to doom bolt you twice, or it's just like I don't have fallback shooting charge. However, my unit will be moving and then shooting at the end of this during the shooting phase. No, you can't overwatch it. It was very frustrating to play with for that reason, because you're just like, you constantly feel like you're just like walking your opponent back from the edge of just getting tabled while tabling them, which is good fun. Like I played a game into Windrider Host, I played a game into Drukhari, and then I played a game into Sisters, which I drew because you use differential scoring. It turns out that Magnus I charged a squad of 5 Seraphim, killed 2 of them, and then was stood on a ruin and couldn't consolidate back to an objective in front of 8 Retributors. Was not the biggest fan of that as a like gameplay dynamic. Magnus, you fucking suck in combat. Why are you AP1 on your suite? That was stressful. The 2 damage inference is good fun though. That guy just fucking walks around having damage 4 dev wound sweeps, or damage 4 to big attacks and damage 2 dev wound sweeps. It's great fun.
Yeah.
And Scarabocult Terminators just don't fucking die. I don't know what it is. They're just toughness 5 -1 to wound, but it sure does feel like they're a lot more durable than that when you're playing with them. So yeah, that was super interesting. Came third with that. It was a good experience, but it was enough to make me not want to submit them. I was considering them for Manchester this weekend, but it was enough to make me just go, no, I'm not really feeling it. I'm sticking to my promise for the year of just playing the thing that it says is best. So I just stole Emil's list from ITT that he high scored the event with, and I'm playing that for Manchester. So I'm playing Emil's Deathwatch list with like one minor tweak just for infiltrators instead of JPIs, because fuck playing against Necrons.
What does that
So, yeah.
change? Infiltrators don't do anything to Necrons. They walk on the board at you.
Yeah, it's tough to Transcendent Catan being as in your face, and you can keep, because on the UKTC boards, the angles that they can get to with the second Street Striker are a lot more annoying if you're trying to catch them on the midfield. And I want to keep them in front of me. So
That's
I also just don't like JPIs without being Blood Angels. So
every time I see a JPI squad activate, that's not like ultras.
Blood Angels or
lag.
Specifically.
I'm like,
yeah, I'm just like, why are we doing this?
Yeah. I don't even like them in Rage Cursed. Like, they're not even good there.
No, they're not. It's like JPIs without +1 to wound in a detachment that doesn't do anything for them, where they don't get mission tactics. I was like, I'm just gonna bring an infiltrator squad. I want like a scout squad to stand in front of a guard army sometimes, because I don't get actual scouts or something like that.
Right.
So I felt like that was a change I was happy with. So yeah, playing double Indominator, triple Fortis, because getting to play 6 Desolation Marines is, it's got me right in the heart. Makes me happy inside.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Don't. Okay, let's quickly do super chats. Thank you to that one guy for the $2 for prepaid for Quinn's coaching, and then thank you to John Garza 9756 for the $65 for Guilt is Strong. Innes understands what this is for.
What did you really do to Garza?
Have to do. I didn't do anything to Garza. It's what Garza failed to do to me.
What?
He missed a call. He missed a call.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I want to pay for it. I'm like, no, you can send a super chat, but I'm not charging you for the call.
That's fair. That's funny.
So Guilt is strong. It's all right, John. Good luck at your event this weekend, man. I'm sure you'll kick ass with Necrons. So yeah, playing Deathwatch. I'm feeling pretty good about the event. The top end of the event is not super strong. There's like 5 really good players going out of a pool of 300 or so. So I'm feeling, quietly confident. David Gaylor's there with Ultramarines, Andy Koscoen, Mark Crumbleholm, Matt Bell, Chris Kinnear are all there with Necrons. Chris Langton's there with Death Guard, not Chaos Demons, which is actually a little interesting. I'm sure there's definitely someone else who's a good player that I'm forgetting, but those are the ones that stand out at the top of my head. I feel like I've got a reasonable matchup into all of those with Victrix Guard, or with Deathwatch. What the fuck are the cats doing? I'm not going to worry about it. They're just throwing stuff around.
Doing cat stuff, dude.
Yeah, no, I know. So yeah, I'm going to shoot people in the face with +2 strength, Deathwatch heavy bolters, and hope that makes them go away.
I mean, look, through the power of every keyword in 10th, you two can drop a Satan.
Through the power of teleporting Fortress kill teams up to the top floor of a UKTC room where they can't be charged by Necrons, you two can plunging fire.
You can plunging fire and also not kill a Catan.
But it's very funny being AP5 on your plasmas, so...
Sure. Whatever.
I just want to do that to someone's Victrix Guard.
Dude, whatever makes someone enjoy current 40k, sick, dude. Oh yeah. Whatever you gotta do.
I fucking love teleporting I fucking love plunging fire, and I fucking love Desolation Marines. That's why I'm doing it. That's what I gotta do.
Good luck, dude.
Got a macro dose the Vanguard launcher.
It is the most Vanguard launcher per list you've probably ever played.
I think I played. Yeah, I don't think I've ever played 3 squads before. I used to play 5-5, and I've played 10-5, but I've never played more than that. So yeah, 3 Vanguard launchers. I'm ready. I'm ready for triple Vanguard. Triple Vanguard with sustained. It's so much fun.
For someone.
Anti-infantry 2+ sustained hit Vanguard launchers. Somebody.
I'm sure that's fun for somebody, but it's not me.
It's fun
it's
for
this guy.
It's fun for number 1, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm here for myself.
The only person who matters. It's fair.
So yeah, I live in a constant state of regret for having been a student during 7th edition, because I think I've bought every model in Dark Imperium the 8th edition starter set, like multiple times now, and I never bought that box set. And I'm just like, why couldn't I have just had the money for that box set that one time, and I would have had my aggressors, my hellblasters, I bought everything separate from it separately. And I'm just like, I've definitely spent like £300 buying the models from this £80 box that I could have just fucking bought at the time.
It's okay. I regret not buying a house when I'm in middle school because apparently that was my last chance.
Look,
so
we are all strongly working on the things that we should have done. Yeah, like, God damn it! Why was I buying gummy bears when I was a 7-year-old
and not Bitcoin?
Why was I
Idiot.
investing? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Back when Bitcoin could be gotten for like placing 5 through 10 at a
And
StarCraft.
these Zinger launchers, not actually. Once you get a Catan below half and the Fortis +1 to wound kicks in, you can like threaten to drop like a low health Catan with like all of them, which is
This is some
better
real
than
like
nothing.
this is some nightmare hunt cope, dude.
Well, no, like Fortis
On the
teams just get
third blood moon.
half, right? It's like it's very reasonable that you fire an Indomitor, drop it low, and then the Fortresses can finish it off because they have nothing else to do, right? Like that is not a thing that is crazy to happen.
Sure.
Occasionally.
Sometimes. But what if you
I
bounce?
played a test
But
game.
what if they bounce is the best?
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I played a test game at the Pantheon where a Transcendent and my Grat and my Indomitor kill team sat in combat for 4 full turns because the Thief of Secrets guy kept dropping him to 1, and then he'd heal 2d3 off the Reanimator, not like kill another 3 guys in combat, and then just like they would just sit there just going. He's like, God damn it! I wish I had killed 1 model on the way in, so I was damage 4 right now, not damage 3.
I played a game yesterday. I think that was yesterday. Time has become kind of immaterial in general. But I had a whole ass CSM army try and take down a Transcendent and leave it on 7. And because part of that plan involved melee, they got heroicked. So Huron and all of his homies and the unit he was attached to also died. Yay! Woo! Yeah, that. Woo!
Not my favorite way to go. So anyway, yeah. Playing Death Horse this weekend. It's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna dodge. Like, there's actually. So when I was going through the list of like players that I respect at the tournament, none of them were playing like 5 Catan. I don't think anyone had more than 2. So I'm just like,
no one wants to, but once you do it, it's tough to go back. You know. You're like, this game could be over in 40 minutes, and I'm gonna play the whole thing to score the
Anthony,
same
I need you to know
amount.
that that's never been like a particularly difficult thing for me. So
That's
I don't like feel the requirement.
Think about how quickly you could get through a Pantheon game.
Anthony, I looked at your 15 model fucking list and was like,
Whoa,
that's only 15 models.
is it that few? I thought it was more than that.
It's 17 with the menhirs. Sorry.
For anyone,
17.
that cat is Keely.
with
Keely is
the
the nice one.
menhirs.
Philly is the one that you will never see on camera because Philly hates me.
But when you only have to paint 17 models,
I don't have to paint any models. I'm not even taking that to Pyra.
You're just having it show up for you.
Zozo's got it.
Fair.
Yep.
There you go.
I've killed that Nightbringer. Or killed that Deceiver.
The Deceiver probably.
Yeah. All right. Nathan, tell us some
Stats.
stats. Tell us how miserable
All right.
we should all be. I'm going to go wash my hands.
Wait, did we do how is Nathan doing?
Yes.
Yeah, we did. We did
okay.
that. I said I'm
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
we
Night of the
spoke about
Seven
Night of the
Kingdoms.
Seven
My bad.
Kingdoms.
My
We
bad.
spoke
My
about-
bad. My bad. My bad.
Fuck's sake.
You're good.
Go
We
away.
can go through it again.
We can go over it more in depth now that Innes is gone.
It's true. It's a good show. Everybody should check it out. If you were burned out on big Game of Thrones, this is like a little more intimate Game of Thrones, and it's
Kill Team Game of Thrones.
yes, and it's kind of silly. And then randomly very serious about trauma.
Well, you know.
There you go. When you grow up in like the poorest part of a medieval land that is like low magic and full of misery,
It's bad. Yeah.
it's bad.
The magic in Game of Thrones is human suffering.
Yeah.
Much like
magic
capitalism.
and the magic in this is, why is Duncan the Tall so tough, and how does he get up so repeatedly? Well, you see,
Yeah.
if life beats you to the ground repeatedly.
You get very good at getting back up.
Exactly. All right, stats. There weren't a ton of events this weekend. There were 7. because we went through
Wargamers
some
respecting
things.
Valentine's Day and other things I did not think would happen.
I mean, in the United States, yeah, there was like an event in Russia, and there was an event in there were some events in France and stuff like that, and in
Fair.
Norway. So not the Eurozone specifically. All right, the number one faction for this week. So there's not a lot of games this week. There were 269 players, which is not a lot of players, which is 1,264 games. So we're going to go through this pretty quickly, but some of the numbers are pretty small. Like the top performing factions of this week have 2, 9, 8, and 4 players for the top 4 by win rate. In first, it is Space Wolves, which had 2 players and an 80% win rate. They had an event win, which was their top 4 and their top 10, which gives them a 4.8 for overrep. Chaos Demons are in second. They had 9 players for 3.3% of the meta and a 66.7 with 3 top 4s, 7 top 10s, and a 3.2 overrep. Again, inflated by relatively kind of weird participation this weekend.
Yeah, the pace of the weekend means it's easy to just kind of be like, okay, the numbers are a little silly this week. Just,
Yeah. 8 Leagues of Votan players in third with 3% of the meta, 64.5% win rate, 1 top 4, 4 top 10s, and an overrep of 1.2. In fourth is Chaos Knights with 4 players, 1.5% of the meta, and a 63.2% win rate, 1 top 4, 2 top 10s, and a 2.4 overrep. And then in fifth place, Necrons with 23 players, which is a lot more players than everybody else in the top 5. 8.6% of the meta, which is the most of anybody except Space Marines. 61.4% win rate, 1 event win, 4 top 4s, 11 top 10s, and a 1.67 overrep. Alrighty. And then at the bottom, Imperial Agents, who had no players, have a 0 across the board. Deathwatch had 1 person who had who went 1 and 4.
That's a bad sign for my Deathwatch, or one of the armies I can compete. Kelly's their best in the game.
Eldar here in third from the bottom, technically second from the bottom. 7 players, 2.6% of the meta, and a 25.9% win rate, which is bad. That's just bad, and no placements. Black Templar are third from the bottom, 2 players, 0.7%, and a 30% win rate. Fourth from the bottom is Drukhari, 7 players, a 37.5% win rate, and 2 top 10s. Fifth from the bottom is Emperor's Children, 12 players, 4.5% of the meta, and a 39.2% win rate, and 3 top 10s. There's not a lot to go around this weekend, so the stats are kind of strewn around a bit. Other event winners from the weekend were World Eaters won an event.
Holy shit.
Blood Angels won an event.
Holy shit.
Imperial Knights
All the Necro players clearly have partners, is what I'm learning.
Imperial Knights won an event.
Necron's fucks even off the table, dude.
Adeptus Sororitas won an event.
I got Nathan to break doing stats. Yeah.
Pantheon of Roses, man. That's what it's all about.
Adeptus Mechanic.
Spine shatter.
Something Star Shatter. I hardly knew her.
What World Leaders Detachment won an event?
Was this the
It was
Gortrak guy?
Gortrak again.
Gortrak.
The
It's
French
Gortrak guy
guy.
again. Yeah.
French
He
Gortrak
has-
guy.
He has the YouTube video, which is just a Tokyo Drift video, which is quite funny. It's good. But we're not really interested in this one silly weekend. I'm going to drag the stats number all the way back to the beginning of this meta, and we're going to do some other stuff. All right. There have been 85 events so far since January 4th with 1.09. I will link the video at some other point in here when I get a second. Necrons have won 18 of 85 events. That is a 21.2% of events won by Necrons.
It's too many.
They have 47 top 4s, which is about 14%, and then they have 112 top 10s, which is again about 13%. That is more than the next 4 factions combined, basically, underneath them by win rate. The situation bad is basically what I'm trying to say. And I know that our comments are upset about how much I say it's bad, but it's bad. Necrons have a 59.3% win rate. They have 18 event wins, 47 top 4s, and 112 top 10s, and a 1.8 overrep while being 7.7% of the meta, which is the most of any other single codex faction, including Space Marines are higher than them by 0.7. I lied almost.
I love the idea of someone looking at the state of the meta and then getting mad at the man on YouTube reading the stats to you. How dare you, person reading the
We're
spreadsheet?
obviously, because we have an agenda, we changed the number of events we intake. So on weeks where the 22 person events make the talking points that we don't like change, we just delete those events, and when we don't, we just pretend there's 2 extra players in them. This is satire. We don't actually do this.
So now
it's so convoluted.
Our detachment data is also up to date, so I'm just going to go through it. The most popular at the moment is Star Shatter by a modest amount, and it has a 60% win rate. Pantheon of Woe is next in the amount of people playing it and has a 66% win rate.
Yeah.
Awakened is after that and has a 57.2. Cursed Legion is after that and has a 56.3. Cryptek Conclave is after that and has a 58.9. Then Canoptic Court with a 42.2. Hypercrypt with a 33. Obeisance Phalanx with a 66.7. And
That's a big number for 7 players.
And that's it. And that's all of the detachments and all of the...
Shout out to the French list with a Silent King, triple Triarch Stalker in Obeisance Phalanx.
But the one thing I also wanted to talk about briefly, because I think this is important, is Thousand Suns are also kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Innes talked about this a little bit earlier. Thousand Suns are second by win rate at 55.1. They're the only other faction above the 45 to 55 window that we talk about for win rate. They have a 1.8 overrep, which is the same as Necrons. They only have 3 event wins, but they do have 19 top 4s and 39 top 10s, which is a lot. That is basically 4th for both of those categories. But when you look at their detachment data, their most popular detachment is Grand Coven, which has a 59.4. And then Rubrikai Phalanx with a 50, followed by Hexwart, which has a 61.4. And then Change Host and the Warpforged one.
Low-key, with how greedy lists are getting nowadays in terms of like actual shit in them, the triple Demon Prince Hexwarp build is kind of nasty. Just like, oh, you don't have shit to screen 6-inch deep strikes. I guess there's just going to be 3 of these dicks in your deployment zone.
Yep.
And then behind them is Chaos Demons, who, with Scintillating, still have a 57.8% win rate and are the currently most popular faction behind Demonic Incursion, which is a 48.2.
Yeah.
Birds shoot too good. Shocking. Nobody. The fact that they have a terrible matchup into Necrons notwithstanding, that army is really powerful.
And it's still, we don't 100% know for certain if the reroll ones to wound nerf on objectives is enough to take Astromel.
Yeah, that happened since last week, right? That happened on Wednesday.
Yeah, that happened last
week. I guess we have a bunch of stuff to talk about in our post episode.
In stealth,
because we've got 4 new detachments to have a chat about, and we've got a couple, and we've got they did a mini balance update mid Wednesday. So obviously last week when they were going in and like making surgical changes outside of the balance pattern to an army that was overtuned, guards were the one we were all thinking about, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course. It to be fair,
it deserve it. 100%.
It's one of them. I'm not going to be mad about them doing the right thing because they didn't do enough of the right thing. All right, like it's okay. I don't know why it happened like this. That reads like a mistake. Whatever.
It's like they couldn't just get look. It had to happen 2 weeks early. Now
I don't care. Whatever method led to them nerfing the thing, they could wait until they could drop the slate one day with no Necron nerfs in it, and the following day just hammer them into the floor. Whatever. I don't care. That's fine. It'd be a bit dumb, but whatever. You kind of sign up for that when you sign up to play 40K competitively anyway.
Yeah.
So
on board for the 2 weeks before we're expecting a data slate at the start of March.
Yeah, they're just like tink.
It's like, this one will just give them that one. It'll be okay. I don't hate that. It's like the pre-nerf for Chaos Knights and Guard, except they didn't even there wasn't even a war composed about it. It just
did it. Yeah, they just put it into the ether and didn't announce it at all. We just had to look at the Astra Militarum faction pack to find it.
Yeah.
I
So
wish
don't
that
think
would
the app's
happen.
been updated either.
I wish that would happen more, honestly.
Mhm.
Like, just get in there and shiv
like-
the thing.
Tink.
Yeah.
Gulliman, you probably don't need 2 abilities.
Yeah. Enough.
All right. I did have 3 factions outside the bottom of the window to talk about just because.
Sure.
And one of them is Imperial Agents, and I feel really bad for Imperial Agents fans. We get it. Your GW owes you an army rule and has never given it to you, and you need it.
GW owes you like I don't even an army rule. Games Workshop owes you a balance mention. Just like
Yeah.
they don't even like put them in the like, hey, here's all the armies of the game and what we think about them when they do an update. They're just like agents, just like it's just like no.
They're not
Nope.
an army in GW's eyes. What do you...
I mean,
Games
I
Workshop wrote that book to sell Calidus Assassin books to
Yep.
people for codes on the app. And I'm really sorry that some of you got tricked by Games Workshop selling army rules, selling army books and combat patrols into thinking that it would be an army that you could play viably.
Whoa. It's an army that you can play in matched play games of 40k. Insofar as I am aware, competitive is this really tiny part of the scene that should never be controlled for. So, in line with this thought, obviously, as a models first hobby only company, why should it matter?
True. Fair. All right. Second from the bottom is Eldari, who maybe, perhaps, just kind of, probably got tapped a little too hard. They have a 43.
Well, as a GSC player, I have no sympathy. Fuck them.
Fair.
I do think that perhaps the change to not being able to get back into the transport could have been a game-wide solution. So it was at least a little less targeted. Like, you can get back in a transport, or you can get into a transport in your movement phase. That's it. Fuck you. Enough.
And then third from the bottom, and the only other faction outside the window of 55 to 45 is Chaos Space Marines, who just got pretty substantial new things to perhaps rejuvenate the faction in the form of 2 detachments and a bunch of fucking data sheets. Oh my gosh, a floof. Otherwise, it's like at the bottom is Grey Knights, Emperor's Children, and Imperial Knights. Who Imperial Knights have 3 event wins, and so do Emperor's Children. Grey Knights are just barely over the 45 and have not won an event yet since
GK is in the trap, dude. GK is struggling.
GK is so depressing. Like, why they just fall over to so many? Why is there so much dev wins in the game right now? It's crazy how much you just like 2 up armor save. Just like might as well not have one. It feels. Like
I think they fucked up, right? They released Warpbane, which is now the only detachment that you can play. And because of Warpbane, the rest of it has to be kind of shit. And it's like, I guess.
The detachments are so sauceless.
I
Even
think
Warpbane is not like interesting. It's just rerolls and access to a weird conditional 6-inch deep strike.
I would play Warpbane in Eaters so fast.
Fuck yeah, no, absolutely. Like, it's just really boring as a playstyle. It's just here is data sheets.
I have a hard time getting bored with the like zone control, therefore rerolls mechanic personally.
That's
but
fair. It is. Look, when you have things that can like actually stand on the ground circles, it feels a little better. Grey Knights can sometimes just have a little bit of a just inability to do that.
Yeah. I think Grey Knights also suffer from the fact that GW gave them the barest of updates when it came to their range this edition. They're like, here's an upgrade sprue for your one character, not even a new character, just an upgrade sprue.
Yeah, Grey Knights could really do with like a universal charge bonus or protection against mortal wounds, so you can actually play them as a combat army, but they just don't do that. The fact that like the one that bugs me the most is the Brotherhood Strike detachment gives you real ones to hit when on a turn you deep strike. It doesn't work from rapid ingress. It's just like, no. One of the big changes we're making to Grey Knights this edition or this codex is that you can pick your units up and keep them there and leave them and rapid them again. And they're just like, but also if you want to play the detachment that's by coming in from deep strike, fuck you. Only Host of Ascension gets to do that. I don't understand because they have the technology there until your next fight phase. It works. It's there. Been there the whole time, and they're just like, nah, GK.
They just don't give a shit.
Piss off and die.
They're gonna roll them into agents, dude. I'm telling you, Custodies and Grey Knights rolled into the agents book next edition. That's how they make them a real army.
This is how you end up. Custodians and Grey Knights just lose their army roll.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everyone wanted Imperial Agents to be a real army so bad they killed 3 other ones.
They're gonna roll
Systems
Death
are
Watch
going
into
into.
to make it the Inquisition Codex.
And Knights.
Inquisition.
Just
and
fucking
Knights.
pow.
Codex, everything else.
Yeah,
Really
Codex, the stuff they're supposed to be one of in an army.
And then the
so
last army that
Space Marines
doesn't
as well.
The last thing that doesn't have any wins currently is Chaos Knights. They're the only other faction aside from Black Templars and Grey Knights without an event.
Well, I mean, even Bjorn gave up on them. We got to just be like,
Yes.
this army's dead, bro. I don't know what you want. If Bjorn gave up on them, like, I'm not.
The goose is loose, dude. He's out.
The goose is playing guard.
True.
I think he was playing guard the first time I met him, for what it's worth. But yeah,
Yeah, that's fair too.
Yeah.
All right. Should we
That's
talk a little bit about the new stuff? So obviously, the first thing that changed, Guard, Grizzle Company got a little bit of a tweak. They lost their real ones to wound. Good change. Definitely needed to happen.
Positive.
Guard were stupid. They are probably still one of the 3 best armies in the game.
Yes.
Anyone doubting that one?
I think they're still. I don't think their position has really changed much at all. I think a lot of the time, guards. I think guards' problem is its point costs, not its rules. I think they honestly probably could have kept the real ones to wound and just been pointed appropriately.
I hate how many med packs Guard get. I hate leaving a Guard model alive and being like, oh, that's 12 OC on my objective again. Fuck.
Look, there's a
You
lot
go
of problems with
the
guard, but
ability.
I think you can get in there with the fucking the nerf bat of points and fix them.
Sure. Yeah, there's been no update yet to the app.
There has not been an update to the app yet.
No, tomorrow we get to find out how many things they forgot were meant to be in the slate whenever that happens, and how many things are right now true. Right now. Good luck.
But that was like, and they did a
They
clarification.
changed one thing for Scintillating Legion, which is that you now need line of sight to one model in the unit that you're going to pop
Dude,
it through.
The
which
fucking
just look, it changes a little bit how easy it is to use a 3-man to go from ruin to ruin, which is not a real change. It is a thing that
buffed it.
occasionally matters, but it also now ignores lone operative properly, truly, and confirmedly, which is probably stronger than everything that you had to deal with. Like, it's a little harder to go like ruin to ruin while staying completely safe with a Lord of Change now. You might occasionally have to be like slightly in danger in order to just trivially shoot indirect for free with your 10-point enhancement on your 300-point chicken. Oh no. But getting to shoot lone ops is pretty fucking good.
Yeah, that being actually the interpretation of it is just a buff.
Puppet should be once per game. I don't care what they do to its point cost. That enhancement should be once per game.
Yeah.
You have to pick the unit during deployment that you can pop it through. That's the only unit you can pop it through. That guy's my puppet.
Nope. It would be, they would pick some stupid ass horror unit. It would be, yeah. No.
I mean, it would be very funny. And that's
once per game.
To be in line of sight.
I think once per game is a good change.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we got some new detachments. There were Corsairs ones. They exist. Anthony or Nathan, do either of you have anything positive to say about the Corsair detachments?
One
It's
of them has
cool that they
advance
tried.
charge. One of them has the reroll advances and advance in charge on it. I guess that's neat.
Which is kind of funny. I did immediately go and do the math on what 3 Wraith Knights do to a Catan. Anthony, pop quiz. 3 Wraith Knights with Ghost Glaives. How much damage do you think they do to a Catan?
0.
No, be reasonable. Come on.
The average is the 11.
Yeah, it is. There's 3 Ghost Glaive Wraith Knights average 11 damage to a Catan.
Fucking
Anthony knows Catan math. I'm impressed.
It has a 1 CP stratagem for voice card to make them damage too.
Yeah,
like, that's fine.
That's sick in the Catan, dude.
It seems fine. Like, I don't think Corsairs are a good melee unit.
Just
they have like so few attacks.
Look. Listen. Sometimes things are just not very good. And it's okay. Not everything has a secret sauce. Rickard, I'm talking directly to you right now. Not everything can be solved into viability.
It is okay that these detachments are cool for the new Corsairs models that came out, and they're not really for match play.
Yes.
Yep. They're fine.
That.
They're aggressively okay,
All right.
and that's fine.
We also got points for the new Corsair models. So Uriel 75, Starfang 75, Karseth 95, and Sky Reavers 75. I think of those, Reavers at 75 is marginally compelling. Because
Yeah.
like if you just have like 20 points left at the end of another list, changing your squad of rangers into them is not a bad option to have.
It's
A little bit
alright.
of movement 12 scout. You're not
Yeah.
going to be upset. The Starfang at 75 seems like pretty good. Like I don't hate it. It's got a decent enough gun. It's not insanely expensive. It's got scout. It can make like an infantry unit a little
Yes,
more
the
durable.
grenades keyword.
It has grenade keyword.
The
Which we obviously
grenade
know
keyword
it
on
does.
that thing gets me every time, dude. Just
Anthony,
why?
you left right as me and Innes both read it again and realized it had the grenade keyword.
So silly.
So I don't hate it. I think it seems okay. Uriel seems expensive for 75 because
He's 95 points, isn't he?
no Karseth's 95.
Oh, just Karseth? He's 75? Yeah,
He's 75, yeah. It's because he doesn't join shit, bro. Can't have
Yeah.
shit on the Corsair.
Dude, it's tough, man.
He can't join anything worthwhile.
Yeah,
Bro's
they're
gonna
in-
join those Voids Guard and get damage 4 and still not do any damage.
Yeah, dude, the Corsairs are in Space Detroit. They get nothing.
Can't have shit in Space Detroit. No, it's true. And then Karseth is 95 and will probably be quite good in Drakari and is unlikely to move much. Oh, Uriel is 95? Jesus Christ.
That's too many.
That's too many. That's too many for Uriel. I was like,
Yeah.
eye-wateringly expensive at 75. And Karseth is 95 and seems interesting for Drakari and nowhere else.
It seems fine.
Th-
like-
look, they're just not very good. Whatever.
They're cool models. Buy them if you like them.
All right. Now, let's talk about a lot more on the Chaos Space Marine front.
More competitively viable.
Okay.
Woo,
Oh.
baby!
Huron-
CSM
How many points
unleashed.
Huron, Anthony?
What?
120? Huron's
Ah.
120?
I don't fucking know. I don't look at his point cost. I just add him to every list.
Okay, and Marauders, I think, are 115.
Same shit.
They're
Couldn't tell ya.
They're just starting spawned in. All right.
Yeah.
These guys work quite compelling points wise. They seem pushed competitively, especially both of them.
You know what it is? It's not even their cost. Like I just said, I literally have no idea what their cost could be. It could be like 160 and
It's
140.
120 and 115.
Sick. No,
Ron and his buddies.
genuinely no idea. Just another thing to attach to good CSM units is like, fucking let's go, baby.
Yeah, the Masters of the Maelstrom being like 10 points cheaper than 5 Chosen is wild to me, given that they're just better than 5 Chosen.
They're
Like,
not better
oh,
than the first 5 chosen, but than the second 5 chosen.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure. Okay, and then we got 2 new detachments that both just fucking rip.
Bang.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, good.
absolute heaters for
Top
detachments.
to bottom, both just great detachments. I think the fact that there are, all right, preface this. We have a lot of chats with a lot of really good 40k players that we all, deal with. We also see a lot of lists get flooded. The fact that there are so many, the fact that I have heard every opinion from one is 100% the best attachment and the other one is dog shit to the exact inverse from another person that I completely respect is very funny to me. And I'm enjoying
Yes.
this, and it means that people care and that these attachments are both fucking great because like
I
somewhere in
think
the middle is going to be the truth.
CSM had 2, arguably 3, of the best attachments in the game already. And I
Sure.
think it is very challenging to want to run any of them anymore. All of them just fucking whoop, airball, just fucking right into the trash, dude. Because you got these 2 new ones whose buffs are so broadly applicable and so generically powerful. It is as if Mr. Roberts came down from the CSM mount himself and delivered them onto the CSM populace.
Yep. I think almost every list that we've, look, Gunchbox played in Marauders.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're just doing that. We're just
Yep.
you just pick the list up and you're like, Bile, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Huron, let's
Yeah.
go.
And now we're raiding.
And now we are marauding.
And now you don't even need like that. That's the craziest part of that list, right? Is if you take, our lightly under the influence, beautiful mind creation, and you take it and you put it in Huron's Marauders, you are punished 0 for just living in 4-up invuln. You don't have to switch to reroll hits at fucking all, which makes that army roughly 3 times more annoying to deal with.
All right,
Because the
let's
turn where
do-
you drop the shield and you go in with full rerolls,
you're like, oh, this better work.
you take a fucking beating on the following turn usually. But if you're just hitting on 2s, rolling through, happy because it doesn't matter.
Flat advancing 6. All right, let's run through the 2 detachments and kind of talk about them and what we like and what we, what we think are the weak points and highlights of each one. Okay, so let's start off with Huron's Martyrs because it's the one that's first in the document. So, in your command phase, you either pick +1 a hit for all of your infantry or fallback, shoot, and charge for all of your infantry, and then anything that Huron can see at the start of a phase, it just gets both. Which
You're already going to take Huron anyways.
that's a pretty good detachment rule.
It being always +1 to hit, and then like, oh, a bunch of shit got tagged. Fucking whatever.
Oh, cool.
Activate everybody. If it was just
downside? No.
no, if it was just fallback and charge, I think it'd be way more reasonable. But the fact that it's just everything is like, all right, I guess.
No, there's no counterplay to these. Like, at least against Emperor's Children, you tag noise means you know they're not shooting at you. Right?
Yeah.
They're shooting something, but like, if there's nothing else nearby, you're like, haha, I turned off the noise means unless there's a rhino nearby. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
This is something they're just like, who
Yeah.
cares?
No. Pow.
Okay. Enhancements. We have Voice of the Tyrant, which is a non-damaged model, gets both of the Tyrant's motivation rules.
So
Kind of interesting in the sense that it can go on like something that isn't infantry, but I don't think there's anything that's like particularly amazing for that.
I think the best thing for that is that it, like, if you're gonna take like, perhaps like a slightly different version of Liam's Pyra concept, right? And you're gonna lead it with a more generic leader, as an example, a Lord for free strat or the Term Sork for an AP boost, because the detachment is not the world's highest AP.
Yeah.
That fucking rips on a unit of Terminators, dude.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think it's the kind of enhancement that's like it's worth having if you have the points, but I don't think it's like a particular build around, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There is advance after disembarking from a transport, or charge after disembarking from a transport for a Heretic Astari's model, which is fine.
After a transport that's moved, to be clear.
Yeah, after transport is normal moved. Yeah. We have a shitty Battleshock one that I'm not going to read, and then Bearer has Infiltrate, which notably doesn't
It's just the model.
give the unit Infiltrate. It's just
I don't know
him.
what they were doing with that one.
I
I don't know.
think the intent is that you can join a Chaos Lord or Sorcerer or something like that to a Raiders squad because it's the Huron detachment.
Sure,
Probably.
I guess.
Or the funnier one is you can put it on a Disco Lord or a Demon Prince.
Yeah.
I
but
suppose.
not better, but
Yeah.
funnier. All right, so good not great enhancements, I would say. I think like the fact that there's nothing in here that's just like make a Chaos Lord do more damage is one of the things that you don't have in the detachment. But you're gonna hit on 2s anyway because you're using that fucking Thunderhammer. You might as well be, you might as well have an enhancement. All right,
Hitting on
then
2s
for
and
strat.
packs is still good. Like,
Yeah, not losing packs is nice. Okay, we have a damned one that gives your damned stuff ballistic skill, attacks, and save increase for one of them.
one of
which-
those, yeah.
Like, sure, that's a thing that you can do.
It is, to be clear, a terrible stratagem, but the rest are great.
Yeah, and look, sometimes you just want AOC for your trainer enforcer.
I mean, it's in the command phase. You'd have to really be.
I know it's real sketchy.
What if I want 2 extra attacks on my trader enforcer?
Do you know what? That one game where you really need your cultist squad to kill that like one guy to score a secondary, you'll be like, I'm
Yeah.
glad I've got this and grenade with my 2 CP.
I mean, theoretically, it works on ACDC. So the extra save, if you get precision,
extra attack.
Base save on ACDC. It's 6 up, right?
5, I think.
5 or 6.
No, they're base 6 up save.
Oh, it's of rapid fire weapons. I thought that was base attacks increase.
No.
No.
No,
yeah,
that's
that'd
way
be really
worse.
good. I mean, that's
Never
coming later.
mind.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That's coming in a minute.
Yeah, that does come in a second. But
All right. You can have a non-monster vehicle advance and charge and shoot, advance and shoot.
Love
that's
that.
good.
Baller.
Advance and
It's
charge.
movement phase timing, so it's it's good timing. We have auto advance 6 for a non-vehicle and monster.
Good.
This is incredible and game changing. This is Honor the Prince.
It has been so good every time it's shown up.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have +1 attack on the charge.
Also,
I guess.
just
Sure.
straight.
Sure.
Get that 16 model Legionnaires Marauder squad. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We've got Blood Surge when you lose wounds.
Not
Be 6 inches.
look. I'm a little biased. Like, it's cool that it's everything, right? Like, so people have to play around it because if it can be, anywhere you have to play around it as if it were everywhere.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to use this a ton. It's going to make people play differently, and you'll never use it. Is what?
There you go.
This is going to be one of those things that you're like, you can't interact with this Terminator squad because it'll react to move and then Blood Surge.
Yeah, you're gonna spend a lot of time being like, "Woo," and then not actually
like,
using
oh,
it.
yeah. So I'm going to stand 7 inches away from you and shoot you in the fucking face, and I won't be on the objective, and that
Right.
will protect the 5 primary that because it's sticky from you or something, but you will still get shot, right? That's fine. Stratagem to have. And then you have go back in reserve for a non-vehicle monster that's within 6 of a battlefield edge and not in reserve. It's very solid stratagem. Good on Noise Marines, very notably. Noise Marines just being like, over there.
It's so good on Noise Marines, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Also, look, I'm not saying you should do it, but it is really good on a blitz as well because they can get around the board because they do get to deep strike when they get it because they have strat because it's strat reserve.
Sure.
I don't think you should play Obliterate in this attachment, but if you are, this will help them get around the board.
That is fair.
Is true, right? That is a true statement. Whether it's a meaningful thing that you should engage with is different. Now, the thing that's actually really good for this is like picking up your cultists on like turn 3 once your opponent's reserves, and just be like, cultists coming in off the side now, terraforming that objective, or 9-inch charging onto your home objective, or whatever. Right? It's just fucking annoying.
It's a good.
I like this
detachment.
detachment.
It has
I
good
think this detachment is really
stratagems.
cool.
This in a different time, in a different world, a world of more reasonable Warhammer, of a vaguely not AOS shaped game, would be amazing. I would be screaming from the rooftops with joy about playing this new detachment that enables simultaneously my love of melee pressure and my love of transports at the same time. And I can play just enough guns to not get disrespected. I'd be over the fucking moon with this detachment, right?
Yeah. It's a good
But
detachment.
that's
We
not
don't
the
live
time
in
we live in.
Anthony's going to be really excited about this detachment in March.
Hopefully. Fingers fucking crossed, you know?
Anthony wants to be excited about this detachment in March. Let's go.
There it is.
I think this attachment's really, really good in teams, and in singles has, that fundamental ability to meet stat checks is a little lacking.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's talk about Renegade Warband, the other one.
I like this
Now-
one a lot personally.
Huron's Marauders, fantastic for a wide meta, right? Lots of units running around, lots of shit happening, buffs are all over the place. Fantastic.
Messy
But-
combat, small activations that get janked around by blood surges.
Yeah, just lots of stuff happening in a chaotic 40k
Now let's
game.
talk about the detachment that's about punching Catan to death with your bare fucking hands.
Lead me the way.
All right. This detachment is my favorite for one reason, which is that filling out the detachment rule bit on the WTC requires you to put in all 3 of them now, which is that it's got Slaves to None, you lose Dark Pacts, and you gain Assault on your ranged weapons.
That's a sick name.
It's pretty good, right? Vendetta, you get Oath of Moment for non-damaged models. And Twisted Doctrine, you can, for non-battle shocked units, you can take a battle shock test when you move, and you can either advance and charge, or you can fall back, shoot and charge, and that's pretty good.
They're good buffs. Those are great buffs in any other situation.
I mean, they're
I mean,
great buffs
the-
in this situation right
they're
now.
Great buffs
great
also
buffs.
in this
The
situation.
great buffs, especially for a bunch of stuff that doesn't have Dark Pacts.
Sure. The thing that I most see, I think, mistaken on the internet when people talk about this attachment is you don't have to be like, I'm gonna do this with my whole army and fail all the things and get my whole army battle shocked at the same fucking time.
You are allowed to take a single fucking breath and use any amount of your brains when you play the detachment.
You can use some restraint, just like a little bit is good.
Certainly agree. I am also cognizant that this is an attachment that does open you up to, I really need to hit this battle shock test in order to do this thing, and scamming yourself out of a game.
So, here's the thing. I've heard this many times, and it is generally a fair criticism in a vacuum. However, tragically, 40k is played on the table. So here's the thing with Renegade Warband is that the scenarios in which we are describing, right, where you You get your unit out of your Rhino, and you're like, okay, I need to advance and charge over to there, right? Your current band of options for doing that in CSM involve playing a chosen unit or spending a command point. If in this detachment you need to do this, you can set up backup plans if you need to, but the alternative right now in CSM, outside of those two very specific things, assuming you are playing the right detachments or running the given units, is don't make that fucking play.
Yep. No, I don't disagree. I think the part of this is here that a lot of the time, having access to this will make it so that you do not end up in those situations. However,
Right.
it does open yourself up to scamming yourself in some situations. And that is fine, and it is okay. It is a thing that you have to be aware of. It is not a thing that should prevent you from playing the detachment on its own merit. But sometimes you're going to be like, I really need this stuff. I really need to like hit this charge and not battle shock and flip the objective. And sometimes you just won't be able to. You can't just spend a command point to just have it. Right?
Yeah.
Where sometimes, like, you'll get to spend that command point elsewhere if you don't battle shock, etc., which is fun. I've seen some people putting in like a dark apostle to the army to hold like the enhancements for that, which is just not what you should be doing. But
the thing here is that, what's the way to phrase this? I like lost my train of thought.
this will bail you out of more situations than it will fuck you in.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. The thing is with this battle shock part is like it is tough, right? Like it, having to take a battle shock test and ending up battle shocked is a meaningful, impactful thing, right? But just as a reminder, that is because 1/3 of this detachment rule is you have all oaths active at all times for all 5 battle rounds. Like, listen to the words that I just said.
We'll get to an enhancement in a minute that's like crazy work. So
yeah, you have all 3 doctrines permanently active. That's disgusting beyond compare.
The best part of playing Bastion Task Force. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's just been insanely good. Just be like, I just do what I want all the time without. Yeah. The alternative is not being able to do it at all. Right. Like as you said.
Yeah.
Are you going to scam yourself 1 in 10 games? Probably a little bit, but you'll be in a better situation to begin with before the scam happened. So you should be able to navigate that. You don't have to. You can fuck it up. This detachment gives you a lot of ability to fuck it up by
That's true.
Right? Like you can fuck up real bad with this detachment by going too hard in the paint, especially against anybody with like a leadership modifier or 2, right? Like if you start trying to get like real Freer into Chaos Knight army with -2 leadership active, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
But just
you'll
don't
be like
do that.
-3 on those battle shock tests. Don't do it.
It is worth noting, and you'll see this kind of in our CSM build, right? Is that if you build this gun heavier, assault is always on.
Yep. Yeah, you don't need to do the rest.
And you get reroll hits. You still have oaths as well. You don't
at least one.
There's more.
Wait, enhancements.
All right, let's have a look at what's in the box. All right, first up is weaponized. Weaponized hatred.
You almost said it.
Which is you just pay 60 points and you get Gulliman. You get 2 oaths, guys. It's like the little gee, Billy, how come your mom lets you have 2 oaths?
All right, before we move past this, I cannot believe this is
going to.
I cannot believe this is restrictionless.
Yeah.
Why doesn't this guy need to be on the table or have line of sight or fucking something?
Yeah, bro. Can we buff like can Akvar do this? Like
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, Valentine. That's also the reference I'm making. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
But I don't need to say it on the show.
We in fact should.
My favorite thing was someone going, yeah. So my traitor enforcer's got an enhancement that costs more than him. Still on objective.
Yeah.
Dude, that's real.
That shit made me laugh.
It's not the person I would use for that role.
No,
but
I like the Terminator Sorcerer with it because he can drop in and do something while carrying the enhancement. I don't hate it on just a generic character that's not likely to die super early.
Just some dude over there. The Warpsmith was the backup plan for what it's worth, but then we found out that it works while you're off the table.
Yeah.
Just put it on a Terminator Sorcerer because then he can buff something. Yeah.
I think this might be, as Paul says in chat, too cheap at 60 points.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's still the most expensive.
It's the most expensive enhancement in the game. I think 25 points. I don't think that I've seen any that are more than 40.
The fucking gall that Berserker Glaive is 35 and this is 60 drives me insane. You would pay 180 for just the enhance in Eaters to have one oath. Like,
Is it worth it on a Dark Apostle? No, you should not put it on a Dark Apostle. Yeah, I paid 230 points for Oath and Admex. 60's a steal. Yeah. I feel like you're
Nuts.
getting some other stuff with that.
Pause the fucking phone, AdMech complainer.
Yeah.
That's attached to Call, who is
Yeah,
great.
there's a little bit more going on there, but yeah.
That is, however, I will say, Swordsman, very funny. Joining a Dark Apostle to cultists.
That's fucking gaming, dude. Hell yeah, I love that.
That is very funny.
That's something with the Cyclops demolition vehicle on my home objective in guard. Is my only vehicle.
Yep.
All right.
And
Next
just
up,
drives
we
around
have
them. Mimi.
Eric Astartes model gets ignores cover for him and his unit. This exists. Then we have a Terminator model.
I spent a while looking at that enhancement, by the way. I was like, surely somewhere this is
No,
helpful.
you're like, Havocs?
It's not. It's just bad.
I'm
It
not
sucks.
Sasha. I can't do that.
Yeah.
All right. Then you have Terminator gets to pretend it has its data sheet roll still because if you default to Doctrine, you get to reroll the hit roll. I will say that this does raise a very fun point that there are a bunch of data sheets that notably are just shit in this detachment because they just don't work the way they're meant to. Because losing Dark Pacts does mean that like you cannot use Devastating Wounds on Possessed because they can't make a Dark Pact to gain Devastating Wounds. Abaddon can't generate his CP. It doesn't mean he's terrible. It's not a good detachment for him because
It lets you live in 4-up invuln for Abaddon. That part's funny.
Sure. Like it does a thing, but like losing the CP generation is meaningfully a pain.
Wait a minute.
Specifically Possessed do just suck in this detachment, right? Like I'm not going,
I think Possessed are okay in this detachment.
Bro,
Still.
bro.
They're
Come
not
on,
good, but they're
bro,
very.
bro.
It's fine.
I need
Look,
you to
leave
I
me
need
the
you to
fuck
level
alone.
I need you to level with me for a fucking second. The Possessed without Dev wounds are Chaos Spawn.
They're worse than
You're not
Chaos Spawn.
wrong.
They're lower
They are worse
strength.
than Chaos Spawn. I don't know. I just want them to still be okay. I just want.
And
them
then
to be.
Oh, dude. Wait, hold on. Sorry. I just had to look because we were talking about it. Abaddon's secret third aura is very helpful in this detachment. Reroll leadership and battle shocks.
Yeah, because those chaos icons that you have for everybody are Dark Pact only.
I'm just saying.
That's a depressing choice
You're
to
not gonna
make
do
in the
that.
command phase.
Okay.
Is it worse than 4-up invuln? Probably.
And then last up, we have the Empiric Symbiote, which gives you +1 to advance and charge rolls for the bearer's unit, which is good.
That one's good.
Generically compelling enhancement if you have a character to put it on.
If there was a reason to take not epic heroes in CSM as they jam the 4th fucking insane epic hero into our roster, I'd be a lot more on board.
Yeah, like that one Chaos Lord with this is going to be like, okay, cool, man. I guess
I'm a
I
little
guess it's
faster.
one Chaos Lord.
Yeah.
It is notably quite funny on a mop because he is movement 8 himself and gives +1 to advance and charge, and then this gives you another +1 to advance and
Oh,
charge.
dude, and he can lead Possessed, which are obviously great in this detachment.
Bro, we're going fucking zoom in.
Yeah. We're going really fast to 2 and 3.
Wee.
Him in a chosen squad, he's fucking zipping out a rhino.
Just running so fast.
They're going all the way over there to do less than the traitor enforcer's doing.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Stratagems. We have never outgunned, sustained or lethal in shooting or fighting.
That's pretty good.
It's just
Pretty
Dark
good
Pact.
stratagem. Dark Pacts, notably, good
Dark
ability.
Pacts.
Access to them while having oath, quite good. Got Liam a few tournament wins, I think. We have +1 to wound against your oath target. You too can protect your
Oaths.
Woo!
Woo!
Also, a good stratagem. Does not work on damned units. We have 4-up fight on death.
Still good.
It's as good as it ever is, which is to say that 4-up fight on death is shit, but it stops your opponent doing some stuff.
I mean, sometimes it's fine. Sometimes it's like a spite CP, you know? You're just like, off you
No,
go,
100%.
lads.
It's the number one stratagem you'll be annoyed to use.
Yeah. In this detachment, you have way better stuff you could be doing most of the time. So,
We have sticky in your movement phase, which is the most weird timing because you
That's
can't
good.
you can't walk onto an objective and sticky it. You have to
I
have already been on it, but
I don't think about the game that way. So this might be a framing problem.
Sure.
But to me, I read this and was like, tag table. So
no, look, No, 100%. Movement phase stickies are just like the one that it's like you have to remember you can't do it in a couple contexts, which is that you can't walk onto a new objective and sticky it to that
That's
movement phase. You have to survive a turn cycle on the objective or have started on there. Now that Chaos Space Marines have a little more access to infiltrate, this does become a little more compelling with like raiders and things like that, but it's still just like not really a thing.
Just put a command point in the fire to spend 35 points to make infiltrators worse tormentors.
Exactly. You have 1 CP plus 1 AP in shooting, which is
That one's good.
That's a good one.
stratagem.
Use that on Noise Marines.
Got a lot of CP on Noise
AP2.
Marines here if you really want to, can't you?
It's great on
And
Noise
then
Marines.
you have reactive move after getting shot D6 inches.
Which sometimes is fucked up.
It certainly does just let you get back behind a wall or into a
Into a
transport,
box. Whee!
Into the box.
but Eldar can't do that.
They can with their get shot reactive, right? You know.
I think that got
Because
changed.
T3 5 up into
Did it really?
I think that all of their
They
reactives
did, I
got
think
changed
they
to
did,
not let
yeah.
you get back into transports. Yeah.
Oh, good. Fuck them. It should have been an everyone change, but it wasn't. Unlucky.
You're just too old, Eldar. You're just hundreds of years old and can't do it anymore.
Oh no,
Yeah.
fade back did not get changed. You can still re-embark if you live.
Nick
You're not
in
going
chat,
to.
I do not know.
All right, this detachment also quite good. Supports Noise Marines, Plague Marines, and Berserkers. Not Berserkers, but Noise Marines and Plague Marines very well. This crazy shit, man. ESM's really
It's a-
good.
It's a good detachment. I
Just-
don't know what else to say.
Just do good. Do good thing over and over. Do good thing, many stratagem good. Many good detachment rule, many good data sheet. Do good thing.
Every time I've watched like Huron and his friends just like absolutely wail on something, I'm just like, it's too cheap, man. Why is this so cheap? Why do
Yeah.
they keep rezzing? Why do they keep rezzing 4 wound models?
I will die mad, basically. I'm convinced at this point that those guys are not just characters. Why did they do that?
Why aren't Warden's characters? Why aren't they characters? No one will ever know.
They should all be individually characters. There should be a part of their data sheet that says if your opponent kills this unit, they get 20 on assassinate if they took it as fixed.
There you go. Berserkers with full hit rerolls first time this edition.
That's just
But I think
not
they
true.
had it in index, didn't they?
We had it.
Backgrounds-
That has to be a meme, right? Like,
Yeah. I assume.
yeah.
Berserkers are less compelling than Plague Marines and Noise Marines for this detachment,
Plague
right?
Marines
Just by
are
like
much
a lot.
better.
I, yeah, the units are roughly as compelling as they are if you compare them directly, which, you know,
Yeah, that's very true.
if you
Noise
want
Marines
higher
are-
strength chainswords, may I recommend the Red Corsairs?
Or
I don't want to do this rant
Chosen.
again.
Okay, where do we think?
I
this
mean, it got a lot of
detachment
very
lands?
positive comments actually about grade 5 chain swords. On
Drove me nuts, dude. That was my fucking 13th reason. That shit was too much.
Sorry. It's,
Where do these detachments land competitively for you two?
Right at the fucking top, I imagine. Like, the Satan thing being fucked is, you know, its own problem.
Everyone's dealing with that shit, right? Like, if
Yeah.
we exclude the Catan problem, are these guys slotting in around like Grizzled and Ultramarines and Talons of the Emperor Custodes?
I think so, right? Like, they have all the tools available to them to play these things to close games that they have a reasonable chance of winning. It's hard to look at, like, these, like, you know, CSM starter
Hey, you
kit
just-
armies
you
and be
do
like, that's
all
a
of the
blowout.
effort. It really does look like it's just like you do everything all of the time and it's on you to manage the resources, but the resources are there to do it. It
Yeah.
feels like an army that can lose or win any game it plays.
Yep.
And I think that's
it feels like
cool.
it will lose more on your decision making as well than on any other thing.
I really wish there was that this was what the last book that we got did, you know? If they had just printed like some just like, here
They
you
just left
go.
the Feel No Pain line off of Catan. We would be living in such a cool world right now.
Oh no, like Huron and his homies are too good, but they're still not nearly as good as
They're too good
Satan
in
and Vitrix.
It's nice that they're too good in a punch you in the face way, right? Like I don't mind.
I mean, so were Vitrix, but that was not the problem with Vitrix.
Vitrix's defensive profile was a little jacked. I think was
Still a little jacked. Honest to God, the thing that bothers me most about Vitrix, like even still, is their offense, dude. Vitrix charge into like, you know, as an example, a Huron's Marauder army and kill 5 units on the turn that they're like activating, and you're like, Where the fuck did my army go?
Yeah, I've played a lot. You play a lot towards late game inevitability with the Victor's unit, where you're like, this unit's going to multi-charge 3 things, kill them all, and then take no damage back and do it again next turn.
Dude,
for the rest of the game now.
like,
And that's just what happens.
dude, the fucking Storm of Fire, goodbye Noise Marine Squad, charge, all of you are dead, is like, ah!
I've been too busy stormifying my Rapexes, to be fair. I can't relate.
But if you want to clear a table quarter, right, with 2 command points and Marnius's unit, you can kill whatever you'll get your hands on in power armor bodies. You can, if you have the banner with semi-decent reliability and the Lance strat, have each dude pick up a Legio squad.
If they're on your load up lieutenant objective, you fucking are, yeah.
That's what I'm saying!
Look, you're not going to get me saying I don't think Victor's Guard are busted, right? Like, they won me a lot of tournaments so far this year.
Yeah, like nothing printed in this CSM release, to be clear, is as good as Victrix Guard.
No, 100%. I don't think Chaos Space Marines are launching to number 1, right?
No.
I think we are very much living in a world where, like, they are probably going to have a tough time with Sint still. And the Victrix matchup is messy for everyone. And Custodes have a lot of fucking bodies and transports.
Yeah.
And Catan are annoying. And, like, Sisters are going to shoot them because they're just fucking Marines, right? Like, there's a lot of things that you're going to be playing a real game against. But I think the fact that they can just be playing that game is a good place.
I will say, now publicly via voice chat rather than in text, I do think that Renegade Warband in a vacuum is now the strongest attachment in the game. I do not think that makes it the strongest army, but
the detachments rules as printed are fucking insane.
Yeah, are some T-Sun shit where Oath is a third of your rules.
Yeah.
Like, insane. But because of the everything else, I do not think it is the most powerful army in the game. I
just started thinking about playing Bastion Task Force Custodes, and I like almost wet myself. So,
dude, this is more of a quiet point that I've said for a while, but I really do think that Custodes could lose, like, that could have their invuln ratcheted back to a 5, or just not have an invuln and get like a 6-up Field No Pain, and move to movement 8 and have a Stormlance printed for them, and they would be infinitely more fun to interact with and play as. But whatever.
Yeah, I just don't want to play against. God, I'm imagining playing against the Bastion Task Force Custody Guard, and I'm upset.
It's so cool. It could be so cool, but it just isn't instead.
Right. That army needs a nerf.
It just needs to change, right? Like it's like a lot of things right now. The way that things have become good as time has gone on in this edition is that your durability gets priced too low, right? So now we have the shit like Custodes where they're spamming out data sheets that were you never meant to take a lot of. You have stuff like Satan.
3 Land Raiders and 30 Guard in a fucking list.
Yeah, that's silly. That probably shouldn't be a thing. But
why is the Land Raider so shit that it can cost 220 points?
That's part of the problem, right?
Yeah.
Honest to God, I think it's the same issue with Satan. If Satan were to be priced appropriately, I genuinely believe that outside of, like, in Shatter, as an example, that the Deceiver should cost 405 points if they're going to leave his rules as is. Maybe more. That
should be priced like AOS centerpieces.
Yeah. But so should Graders, and so should Winged Demon Princes, and so should, like, a lot of stuff should work that way. Like, Demon Princes should be fucking epic heroes. But they're not. So
instead, Vashar's 175 points.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
the
mini demon Primarch of the Dark Mechanicus.
Attempted new Chaos God, by the way, 175 points.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. But I will say, if they go in, if they manage it, right? If they manage to solve the top in this slate, which I am skeptical of, but if they manage to do it, we could close 10th with a good meta. We're pretty close. The problem is that the way things are bad right now removes essentially most skill expression from playing at the top, right? I genuinely believe that there is more skill expression happening in a game of Sigmar right now than of 40k. I would have not said that
I'm told Sigmar's a
in the past.
disaster right now because battle tactics are impossible to score. But
Well, battle tactics just don't matter. It's whoever gets the doubles win.
yeah,
And
that's what I've been told. Yeah,
I still think there is
Ooh.
more to that
that's grim.
than 40k right now. The game I played a practice game earlier into Michael, and it was just garbage. No part of either of our decisions in that entire game mattered basically at all. We're just shooting fours at each other until the dice tell us which one of us wins, which there is an excellent game for called Yahtzee. It even involves cards, I'm pretty sure. So you could just do that instead. But we don't. We choose to do this. And in that space, as someone who's very passionate about this thing, I would just like to see these things go down, right? Remove the Sin. Just take Sin out back with a hammer. Same thing with Necrons. Same thing with fucking Ultras. Same thing with fucking Guard. They all just need putting down because they oppress such a huge swath of the meta that it's impossible to get them back in. A huge part of Eldar's problem right now is not necessarily Eldar. A huge part of Eldar's problem is the everything else.
They're now like trying to like slightly tee in a meta game of just fucking
Just
math.
get crushed, right? It's rough.
Yeah, I don't disagree. All right.
Yeah.
But it's
With-
close. The important part here is that there is hope, and it is close.
Very close.
It can be solved. It doesn't have to stay bad if they opt into changing the parts that are the problem. And the primary issue is the undercosted durability.
Yeah.
All right.
You essentially have all three factions at the top that just need a little bit of tweaks, and you probably get to just a better play state, and that's it.
That's not true, right?
It's like the top 6.
Top
the
six.
it's not, well, that's actually not even the part that I disagree with. I think it's like realistically the top 4 to 5, but they don't need a little bit of tweaks. They need a fucking hammering because the level of oppressing that they are doing is ruining the fact that the game has 40, 20, whatever X factions minus agents. Like it just doesn't, like you can't, like it doesn't matter how, like if they only tweak them a little, that will be a massive failure and will result in this being the meta that we play in until 11th, and that's not good. They do need to do it right this time. And doing it right this time, to echo Innes's old mantra of if you can't be balanced, you have to be bad. And it would be okay if Ultras, Guard, Necrons, and Sint had to take a fucking patch off until the end of the edition.
Fuck Custodians, man. Holy shit.
Custodians should probably get lumped into that because they're dumb
I'm
in a
really
different
sorry
way.
about all of that, guys. Like, I really didn't know what I was starting.
Yeah, apparently.
So sorry. All right. With all that said, Anthony, we do know you need to leave, so we're gonna do the plugs and then we're gonna do the questions because I want to go to bed because I have an appointment. In like,
I
8
mean,
hours.
maybe you could, if there's a question directly at me, we could do it so much.
Let's
I'll
go
find
check
it.
if there's
Yeah,
any
let's have a
questions.
look.
You check if there's any questions directly for Anthony, and I am gonna get the plugs.
Thought you were doing the plugs in this. What are you doing?
You were going to go see if there's any questions for Anthony before I start my like 3-minute spiel. Fucking Jesus.
There's a bunch of CSM questions, but none of them specifically are for Anthony.
Okay, well I can do those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Technically,
All right.
Ennis has played CSM at more tournaments than I have.
Probably, yeah.
It's not even close. Like, I've played them at quite a few tournaments, but not, like, you play a lot more than I do.
That's also true. I think I counted out last week that I played 31 events last year.
Yeah. I think I played 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
there's
that's
nothing
cool.
specifically for you, Anthony, unfortunately.
Fantastic. Anthony, you are free. Go fly like a bird.
Bye, everybody.
Wait,
See you next
world.
week after I go to Poland.
I will say, just to Lilithar's point, we did talk a little bit about agents, and we are mostly, it's like, there's not a lot to talk about with agents aside from that they need an army rule and they need other stuff. And we did talk a little bit about kind of the factions that have not won events.
It's not. It's also like it's not that we're not counting agents. We don't have statistically significant data on agents because nobody plays them because they're not an army that people want to take to tournaments unless they're doing it to play agents. People don't take agents to a tournament to compete. They take it to compete as an agents player. It's like it's a different goalpost, right? It's not a metric that we as
It's a hard
tour-
goalpost to
tournament-
measure.
Yeah, we don't care about that metric, right? Ultimately, that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
All right. Plugs. We are about an hour and a half into the show. If you guys are enjoying the show so far, please do stick around. We'll have some questions, stuff like that, coming up after this short advertisement break. If you enjoy the work we're doing, please do remember to do all the social things. We wish we didn't have to plug it, but we do. That's liking, commenting, and subscribing. We do our best to respond to all the comments and have a chat with you guys down there. It's been great seeing all your feedback. There's been a bunch of comments recently. It's been really nice to engage with you all. Obviously, that is greatly appreciated. If you're in a position to support us a little bit more and you'd like to contribute financially to the success of StatCheck and helping us continue to grow, support people doing cool tournaments, and paying to get videos made and things like that, you can check out patreon.com/statcheck, or you can check out YouTube memberships. There's a link in the description box below. That's $5 a month. That gets you access to our Patreon Discord, where you can chat with all of us. You can hear what we're working on tournaments. You can chat with us about events you're going to. You can talk about army lists, all that kind of stuff. You can hear all of our thoughts on this in a much more loosey-goosey form, but people seem to enjoy it because they keep joining. So if you'd like to do that, please do find the box below. That will also get you discount codes for a bunch of our sponsors like Red Dragon, and there are also discount codes for the rest of them. That's Wayland Yutani, J15 Games, and Saltar in the description box below. We really do appreciate everybody that works with us, both on the sponsorship side and on the Patreon and YouTube membership side. You guys help keep the lights on and help us continue doing shit like this, making new podcasts like Medicaid's Orders, and supporting getting Liam a real microphone for End of the Matrix, so that you can actually hear what the hell he's saying. Speaking of, there are 3 other shows on our network that are currently actively recording. One is Take Out Comers, one is End of the Matrix, and the third is Medicaid's Orders. You can hear all of them live on this show at youtube.com/statcheck, as well as ourselves at 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. UK time. Every Tuesday, we are here talking about the metagame, the world of Warhammer, the things we like. There's even new admech models that we didn't really talk about, but they looked sick as fuck. Yeah, End of the Matrix, I'm pretty sure we're recording tomorrow. So if you want to hear all about Pyra Cup, you'll be going through all the lists. If you want to see that Renegade Marauders list that Anthony was talking about, the USA are playing, you'll find all the details there, as well as on Best Coast Pairings. If you search for Pyra Cup, I'm sure it will show up. It will not be difficult to find, but that's where it's all going down. We recently launched a new initiative alongside Goonhammer. If you want to hear more or read more specifically from myself and Jeremy, you can check out their Mournival. I don't believe it's called that anymore. You can check out their subscribers only content. We're going to be writing articles there behind a paywall. I believe it's $10 a month for access to all of the stuff that we write. They've got people like myself, Richard Siegler, John Lennon from Art of War, Scary, Ben Jorick, Floof Cox, a few of the Goonhammer writers like Rob and Gareth, and Tom Lohman is doing all the editing. So if you remember the old StatCheck meta reports, that's been moved to that. So I'm getting paid to write that now instead of just doing it for the doldrums, which is great. I love getting paid to do work. It's one of the cornerstones of society, I'm told. So if you want to read more from us, that is a place you can do it. And we really appreciate everybody who has a look at that if that's a thing that interests you. Last thing I need to plug is coaching. If you want to work with either myself or any of the other wonderful coaches on the StatCheck network, including Liam, Nassim, the Take Out Comers guys, Pumba, you can check out stat-check.com/coaching. Ben, I'm pretty sure I mentioned you. Or you can drop us an email at coaching@stat-check.com. We would love to help you with anything you're working on in the current metagame, whether you're working on new Chaos Space Marines, new Eldar, you're playing, if you're playing Imperial Agents, you really want a hand with just getting tuned up and, chatting about some of the games you're playing and fixing your plans, drop us a message. We'd love to work with you. With all that said, thank you guys for bearing with me through the spiel. We're going to go into questions. And as always, there are 3 ways to get your questions on the show. One is to just ask a really good question in the chat. One is to leave a super chat like Tim Penny has. He's just done, put $5 straight back into his own pocket. I love a nice little bit of money laundering on the show. It's really appreciated. And the third is to be a member of our Patreon Discord, where you can ask as many questions as you like. Nathan, with that, take us away.
We just have one from 6++ Jack, which is, I hope we see you at another 6++ event in us.
I will do my best. It turns out St. Albans is very far away from where I live, but it was nice that I was here this weekend. And it was great. You guys put on a good show.
All right. And then the first question from the show questions thread is from Sean, which is, would the game be better if they moved power budget out of detachment substantially? If, say, 3 strats were generic to the faction and the scope of detachment rules were smaller / impactful than just casually bumping up your output 40 to 200% or whatever they were thinking for Ynnari?
Literally impossible to say, unfortunately, because it really... One of the things that you find when you go with a core and then add-ons formula, more so than like what we have now, is that it makes every army feel very samey because there's not a lot of budget in the detachments for power. So it doesn't really matter what you play; it just feels like the same thing with like these 3 data sheets that I want to be a little special, which is fine, but it's a little dull. I don't dislike the way we have things now. I think there's just balanced levers to be pulled, and it's fine.
We have gotten to the point where there are so many detachments being tracked, though. It is a lot. There are
I really
a
think
lot
they
of
need to
detachments
contain it
now.
to like 3 per faction. For like these 3 are competitive play faction or detachments, and the rest are not, and that's fine, and that would be okay.
Or standard rotation, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would do. I would just be like, hey, for this 6 months, Iron Storm and Stormlance are legal alongside Gladius. Okay, cool. 3 months later, cool. We're releasing 2 new ones. So Bastion Task Force and this one are intentionally balanced compatibility. When we realize the rest of them are going to Legends effectively. Just Legends more shit. Legends is good.
Sir Beetle
Legends
has the next.
Deceiver.
Definitely should be, honestly. That is a fine cast model. It should not be in existent rules based off every other fine cast model that has been treated in the game so far. It just shouldn't have rules. It's fine. Sir Beetle has the next one, which is I rarely see Inceptors lately. Is the meta too hostile for them? Are they too expensive? What would it take to add them to your marine?
I think Inceptors has been bad since the 3-inch deep strike change. Just since that change, I think Inceptors have just been a bad data sheet that you should not play. The specific exception was Shadow Talon, where they had a good version of opt-out. I think Inceptors are bad. The inability to rapid ingress at 3 or 6 is removed one of their biggest play patterns. They're expensive. Plasma overheating is devastating, and they're not durable in the slightest. They're just expensive and shit. Do not run Inceptors. They're bad.
James has the next question, which is I'm sure you will cover this anyways, but would be really interesting on the team's thoughts on the CSM detachments. We did do that, and then looking at the Pyro list, the USA have chosen Renegade Warband, and Art of War seem very high on it, but have seen that Liam and Sako prefer the Huron's attachment. You should watch Enter the Matrix tomorrow to hear Liam's specific thoughts.
My guess would be, as somebody who is not involved in any of the teams going to Pyra, that Renegade Warband is a little bit more of a I can just kill big things and I will, wield this a bit like a bludgeon in pairings and it will play kind of anything. Where Marauders is maybe trying to be a bit more tailored and playing towards pair it into specific things for jobs. Someone like a player like Liam is going to be being paired for fairly aggressively in their team and will not be needing to be a take commerce player. He will get babied a little bit because when you have a player like Liam, you should baby them a little bit. And I think that will suit the Marauders detachment a little bit better, where it's just like we will avoid playing against the worst statistics and we will beat the ever-loving crap out of the rest. Hello, Kitty.
The next question is from Truman, which is how do you all feel about the current size of armies at 2,000 points? It feels like the points cost have decreased overall to the point that boards are a little too crowded. I think that just means you should bring the points up. 2,000 points is fine. It's a nice round number. I don't want to go back to the days of 1850 or 1750. Please don't make me do that again. 2,000 is fine. It's a nice round number.
You get too much stuff at 2,000 points. Like that's just 100% true.
Yep. I mean, they should just change the points cost around a bit.
Yep.
Centerpiece models should just be more expensive and have better rules.
I think like a baseline intercessor squad being a 100-point unit would be totally fine. The fact that it's an 80-point unit is kind of absurd.
I think we just need to change the math that we're foundational for points costs a little bit and set something like the intercessor squad to be the baseline for 100 points or 200 points or something.
I also miss when gaunts were 4 points, but that's fine.
That's fair. And the second question is, what list from Pyro are you most excited to see how it performs? I'm interested to see how the French CSM list performs because it's got so many accursed cultists, and I just want to see what it does. That's why
I want to see how Olivier's 60 Black Templar Crusaders Bastion Task Force list does because I really enjoy Bastion Task Force.
It is very funny to see the French on like 2 extremely horde lists as well, or like more horde style lists. Next question is from Eric Cultist Chad, which is for each host, what was something about 10th you thought would be bad but turned out to be good? I will admit that I thought OC was going to be bad initially, and it's turned out fine. I think it's easy to calculate.
Like OC,
I think.
What did I think was going to be bad but turned out to be good? I have a lot of things I thought would be good but turned out to be bad. I'm trying to think of stuff that I thought was going to be good and just didn't land. Or something I thought would be bad but ended up being really good. I'm not sure. I'm sure I've had some takes where I was like, I don't think this is going to be very good, and it ended up being. I guess Renegade Raiders was the thing I thought was going to be kind of terrible, and it ended up being playable. But I also think Renegade Raiders has struggled to have like the heights of some detachments. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I actually don't have a great answer for that one, unfortunately. Sorry, guys.
The next question is from Matthew Paint Engine Aficionado. Innes, after your RTT this past weekend, if you didn't talk about it already, you didn't actually talk about your RTT. How did the Foot Exalted with double Doombolt feel? Oh, you did actually, yeah. How did you?
He was with double Doombolt? Fine. I like having access to double Doombolt. The Exalted occasionally got to res a guy, which was nice. The 4 vulnerable save mattered a couple times. His gun is shit. I wouldn't run him again, but it was fine. Yeah, he wasn't exciting enough for me to want to keep him, unfortunately. I think I would. The only reason I had that extra unit and the Rhino is because I didn't have access to Sekitar because Brian didn't have any. So I didn't play with any. So I put the Rhino and that unit instead. I would play 2x2 Sekitar or 1x4 Sekitar instead of him and the Rhino probably.
Fair. Dan R has the question of, can new CSM put a dent in Settlers of Catan? Renegade Warband can a bit, but I don't think it's enough to like turn that needle a ton, unfortunately. That is so much cat this episode, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Your allergies are going to be fucked up, though.
I've actually mostly gotten past the allergies by this point. It's the asthma has been pretty bad, but that's why I've not been out running recently. But I'm looking forward to getting home so I can get back to doing some proper exercise again.
Is part of that just air quality in London as well, bud?
No, air quality's been fine mostly. It's very much just the case that like if I breathe in too much cat hair, my lungs start exploding. So
fair. Let's talk about Isaac, Pot of Greed tea. Harkin, hot or not? Please don't. Please don't Harkin.
I like Harkin.
It's fine, but I think Harkin plus 10 Raptors as anti-Catan tech is just like too much point in thing.
Hey, look, when it was the best option you had before Marauders or before the new detachments and masters, I think it was fine. But certainly, I don't know if I would. I don't think it's bad. I think it's still one of those units. Like I think it's actually really good in Huron's Marauders. I don't think it's as good in Renegade Warband. I think it really relies on the lethal hits and sustained hits to get over the line, and it's not worth spending CP on for that.
True. It is a fun unit. I just worry that unit just fucking dies immediately after it kills 10 like a Catan.
Yeah,
maybe that's just.
I mean, that's just most melee units, right? They just die when they hit a Catan.
Favorite holder for Double Oath, I think, is a Terminator Sorcerer, but the Trader Enforcer holding it is very fucking funny. It's just not his job.
Man's just dripped out with like a gold rings in the hood. It's just like bro's wearing clothes worth more than he is.
I am definitely making Robert and the Gorilla Man as my Trader Enforcer.
Oh, I would definitely do Lenny and George from
that's also good. I just like Robert and the Gorilla Man because it's Reboot Gilliman. That's all. I just like the joke. That's all I like.
That's fair.
And then Innes is your bi-weekly Marine draft reminder.
Yeah, Isaac, I got the document, man. I'm back from London on tomorrow night, and then when I'm back from Manchester, we will in earnest begin looking for people to take part.
Cool. And then there was a specific question for Anthony. I just missed it because it says, why is Man doing Blade over Eye on his third Lord?
Man is running a bunch of swords on his Lords of Change. I think he has double swords. I think he just wants to not get tagged, bro.
Yeah, I think that's just all it is. Chris Polly has the next question is, really don't want the Catan to get Legion of Excess. So would you think keeping their current rules and just bringing back their wounds back to 12?
Fuck you was harsh there. Sorry. I think Catan should get Legion of Excess because if you can't be good, you have to. If you can't be balanced, you have to be bad. I think that the Keepers of Secrets losing that Feel No Pain was less egregious than Catan keeping it.
I think Catan should just lose there's a world where you still take 1 to 2 Catan, which is where Necrons have existed.
I think if you strip their Feel No Pain entirely, you would still play the Deceiver and you wouldn't blink.
Yep. I think you could still play the other Catan even if they lose their Feel No Pain. It'd be okay. You still have a Knight chassis that can regain wounds if you don't frickin' kill it basically in one go. It's fine.
If when Hero and Masters both join the same unit, is that an attached unit? If the two of them both join a unit of like Legionnaires or Chosen, yes, it's an attached unit because
that's an attached unit.
You can't precision out the Masters
because they're not
characters. But you could precision out Huron
because he is a character in an attached unit. Yes,
and if you attach Huron to Masters, the Masters are the bodyguard in that situation because he attached to them.
Yeah. But thank you for the 50 SEK letters from Lynx.
Yes.
Next question is from Frank. Innes, I'm taking your 20 Crusaders BTF list to an RTT in a few weeks. What's the most important piece of advice you would give to me? or anyone else to avoid completely
go,
shitting the
bro.
bed.
Just fucking go. The enemy's that way. Get them out. Get them out in the face. I would like if you don't push, you'll spend your entire game pissing your pants in your deployment zone.
Yep.
Read the ability on masters. What am I looking at here?
Go grab it. I'm gonna look at the next question, which is
Which
also
ability specifically?
I assume it's the attaching ability that we're looking at.
This unit can join one of the following units. This unit then counts as part of that unit for the rest of the battle. Starting strength. Sure. So you would attach them to a thing, and then Huron joins afterwards, and then that unit, like the Master of the Maelstrom become part of the Legionnaires are chosen, and then Huron attaches to the Master of the Maelstrom plus Legionnaires, as far as I understand it.
And then it becomes an attached unit at that point.
Yeah.
Because Huron's attached to it.
Yeah. If it doesn't work like that, then that's weird, and no one will rule that way in your favor ever. Sorry.
I think if we want to continue this discussion, we can take it into
like
the
what is, I am
rules
assuming that the
discussion
premise
chat.
here is that you attach Huron to the Masters and then you attach, and then it doesn't. But like, does then? I don't think that's how that works. No,
that creates a really weird rules situation where Huron's not an attached unit.
Yeah,
and
Huron would also be part of the base station of Legionnaires, and I don't think that's how that works. So
yeah, that'd be kind of weird.
Yeah,
that would
I think
kind of
trying to
break
take,
how
like
attachment works.
seventh order attachment information there feels like you're stretching way too far, and you should wind that back.
Yeah. Also, our Black Tide Lord and Savior Olivier Weiss is taking 60 Crusaders to Pyra. Is BTF Black Templars fools back to fuck? BTF. Sorry.
Black Templar, like Bastion Task Force is good. It is a strong detachment. It is not broken. It's not one of the best 10 armies in the game, but it is very viable and very powerful, and I really like it. Enough to not take it to a tournament. Like I would play it in teams 100%, but I would definitely not like be engaged. Be like, if someone was like, "Oh, I'm playing Bastion Task," it's a good detachment. It just is. It has a little bit of a lack of reactive abilities. No fight first, unless you play Judicars. Poor access to fight on death. No reactive moves. But the core tenet of all the oath, all the doctrines, all the time is really good.
Yep. I think Bastion Task Force is just good. You should just use it with, well, it's good specifically with two things.
Look, only with
only with two things.
Yeah. Well, it's look, I tried building a Death Watch list. Genuinely, I was like, I kind of think that the idea behind having, like 10 mans of Death Watch in Rhinos and actually be able to play Rhinos in Space Marines would be kind, and it wasn't in any way, shape, or form looked like a good army.
All right, I'm gonna attach this to something. We're gonna have a bunch of questions today. That's okay.
Look, Oath is really good. Losing Dark Pact is painful. To falsate in the chat. Yes, losing Dark Pact is annoying. You can get it back. Noise Marines didn't have it in the first place. It is okay to not have it.
You lean into the units that don't require Dark Pacts to be good.
Yeah.
So Noise Marines don't need it to be good.
Nick C49, Warp Talons are a unit that is completely okay and is really good when Eldar and Admech are really strong in the metagame. But I would not bother into other stuff. They are not good into Victrix, though. I promise you fucking that. That is not a unit that they're good into.
That's a lie that you tell me.
And since agents got mentioned a ton, if you had to give agents an army roll, what would it be? I would probably. Someone suggested an idea of having like the Imperialist fleet pick an objective or pick an enemy unit thing, just be the army roll, and then giving agents a new detachment roll, which are for Imperialist fleet, which I think would be kind of fun. I would just like start with the baseline of they can use any core stratagem for free once per battle round. New orders, fine. Interrupt, fine. Just 0 CP for that. For one. I would just start with that and see if that makes it work.
I was going to say you could pick like a doctrine essentially to use and just make it Hereticus, Xenos, or Malleus, and just give them a doctrine they can each activate or something like that and make it themed.
Yeah, there's so many things you could do, but like again, we try not to speculate too much on this one because it's not useful, and we have too many friends with NDAs to want to get them in trouble if something that we predict gets right. So we try not to speculate or comment on rumors and things like that.
We don't want to randomly get somebody with an NDA in trouble just because
we guessed.
Yeah. All right. Next up is Beginner Sam asking, what are your thoughts on Recon Guard? Good if you're
fucking great.
If you're Nemo. If you're Nemo, it's good.
Yeah, if you are willing to play 200 models, Recon Guard is one of the 5 best armies in the game. The same as it has been the entire time. If you don't want to do that, nobody blames you.
Yeah. It requires a very specific set of skills, which is being able to play that list on a clock in a clock's amount of time without clocking
Ooh,
out.
Sorry, kitty. Just
Oh, did you
put
just
my
kick
arm
a
out.
cat in his?
No, I put my arm out to like grab my phone directly as he jumped up, and he jumped into my arm instead of onto the table.
Oh, that poor baby.
Look, 2 Rubrics, 2 Noise, or 2 Rubrics, 2 Plague Marines is super solid. Play 3 Noise instead. Better. Noise are broken.
Yeah. Play 3 Noise Marine squads. You should start with that as your shooting base in a lot of situations. Maybe go to 2 if you have a specific plan. Maybe 1 unit of Plague Marines is good. I don't know if Rubrikai are that good, but
Rubrikai
Plague
don't.
Marines definitely are good.
Hey, kitty, you coming up?
All right.
No? I'm just going to keep harassing
Next
my
up
leg.
after Sam is Aaron, Grenade Eater Knight. Been out of 40K for a hot minute. What are sisters doing in this woeful season?
They sisters have like 3 viable builds. Hallowed Martyrs, 30 Sacrosancts is continuing to be quite strong. Bringers of Flame shooting is continuing to be quite strong. And Hallowed Martyrs, like Vol plus 10 to 20 Sacrosancts and melee stuff or shooting stuff has been proving to be quite powerful. I think sisters are in a really good spot. They're a completely like upper middle pack army, and that's fine. That's where they get to be. I had a really tough game into Bringers of the weekend. Vol's still a bitch. And they can actually kill Catan. Retributors are quite solid.
It's not easy, but they can kill Catan. Next up is from Ritz, Embraced by Zinch. Just moving into Thousand Suns with the new battle force. Which detachment is going to best support learning the army? I'm coming from playing strictly melee armies. Sorry, so I'm not sure what to expect.
Sorry, let me read that question.
I think it's what detachment is going to best support learning thousands.
Grand Coven is going to be the easiest because Grand Coven is just the do what you want detachment. You have sticky, you have doctrines, you have more damage, you have like it just makes everything easier. You should probably play Grand Coven. It also like clears a little bit of the like, don't worry, you can't fuck up Magnus that bad because you have a blank.
I guess if we're looking at the battle force specifically as well, that battle force has a Mutalith, 10 Terminators, and an Infernal Master and the Exalted Sorcerers. You could build into Rupert.
Grand Coven, 100%. Yeah, Grand Coven, 1 Mutalith, that Magnus, 3 Rhinos, or 3 Ruby Squads, a Rhino, a couple Zangor, and some Sorcerers, and you'll be fucking set. That'll be great.
Yep. I'm not going to kid. You can build from that battle force into any direction that you kind of want.
Yeah, you should probably not play 30 Rubric A because it's going to just like, it's a very skewy list that will make you good at playing that detachment, but not really at Thousand Suns. I think playing with Magnus feels like it's part of the appeal of playing that detachment as well. I would definitely.
Yep. True. I would also say that you polarize your collection by building into skew, and you should build something like Grand Coven that involves maybe a little bit more diversity.
Usually a good call.
Yep. Simon H. Oathing politely. Now that Anthony's gone, what's the list Team USA will most regret having brought?
Almost definitely Sin. Fuck Sin. I think Sin's
think
actually kind of poor in the metagame right now. Despite being really busted, I think it's kind of weak. However, everyone else will regret bringing Spectacle Spike because that army fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I see you in chat. Sorry, I know you know as well. That's why you're playing Cap Cartel.
I think Scintillating is the one that could get hosed in pairing if you're not careful.
Actually, no, that's a lie. They'll regret bringing Brian on Sisters because Brian will just paint instead of practicing like he did for Team Scotland with those Sisters. Yeah, was that 4 years ago? Yes. Am I still better? Yes.
Hasn't Brian been in Thailand for like the last month and not playing? Like, what are you gonna do? I do think that Brian on Sisters will be an interesting choice. I don't know if Brian's been practicing while in Thailand, but Brian, if you've been practicing while you're in Thailand, stop. Enjoy Thailand.
I think he's been having a great time. I've been getting intermittent pictures of him at his various villas and suites and hotels and spas.
I've been seeing photos from a bunch of people who've been in Thailand, and it's been awesome. It makes me regret not returning to Thailand since me and my wife went a number of years ago. The place is great. Coco has the next question, which is, do you guys think the new DIY characters that are from the Maelstrom book are a preview for 11th edition, or are they just a weird Psychic Awakening throwaway piece for the end of the edition nonsense? I think it's just a narrative thing that they're doing because it's kind of neat, and it'll probably be in Crusade in 11th edition if anything happens with it.
Yeah, I would.
That is
those rules to tag around. Those are there for people who are like, I'm really mad. War Gear's gone.
Yep. Also, that is the happiest fucking cat. Like, that cat is making air biscuits and enjoying those belly rubs to no end.
Keely loves everybody. Feely
Mhm.
has spoken to me twice. Genuinely.
I love that the cat's like, yes, allow me to lounge, and stretched all the way out. That one guy says, how does Liam's VSL's Quins work? My smooth brain cannot apply Hawks and Dark Reapers so well.
Roosh, stand the Dark Reapers on the firing lanes, block people so they can't shoot them back with the boats, get back in the boats after you kill things. It's not super complicated. It is very technical, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think you need to ask Liam that question. Liam is the one who understands Liam's lists the best. Lord Draconis has a question. Imperial Knight won a few events in the past couple weeks, even seen it on Goonhammer, but it wasn't mentioned last show. Thoughts on Knights in the meta?
5 bigs is genuinely kind of terrifying if you catch it on the wrong day. It isn't like, look, Catan are really good. One thing they do not love is toughness 11 plus without exactly the Void Dragon and the Nightbringer. If you bring 4 to 5 bigs and you're just like, that guy, see that Nightbringer? See that Nightbringer? I want him fucking gone. And you kill him with like 2 Lancers. Suddenly, you're playing against a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't wound toughness 11 all that well. And then that game gets really messy. That list is very capable. There are a lot of people that are building to kill Catan. Killing Catan is a little different to killing Knights. It's not wholly different, but it's a little different.
A little.
And I think that army benefits from people being caught out a little by it. But it is quite strong.
I also think that Lancers are one of the few things that can reliably just fuck up a Catan's day if they do not do well on saves.
It definitely doesn't have to, right? Like that's the thing with the Lancer charge, right? You charge in, you're 5 attacks. Maybe you're playing a detachment that has like the sustained 2 or like, and you're like, you charge and you're like, oh, I had 2 6s, and you have the Catan like 7 saves, damage 8, which is damage 7. It's like they failed 3 of them and they just fucking explode, and you're like, yeah. Or you walk in, you roll no 6s, you fail 2 wound rolls, you don't kill it, you die. You're just like stood in combat with the Nightbringer, look with your dick in your hand, and you get punched in the fucking face. You're like, I really wish that had gone differently, right? But if you want to swing or get swung, you want to take the fight to them, you want to say, I will not go gently. Knights have the ability to say they will not go gently. I even saw some people playing double Lancer, triple Despoiler, just all Gat Knights, and double Lancer just be like, what up, Infernal Lance? I'm coming. I'm coming at you. Yeah. Swing or get swung.
I think like that is an interesting situation for people. Like the Lancers have a 4-up invulnerable save. You can make that Catan player just play who is going to roll more 4-up.
Exactly. Look, like, you are literally like fistful of, you're just spinning the island going, do you feel lucky? Right? That's all you're doing.
You can make that Necron player real uncomfy. Also, Amintar is not that big of a deal when he heroics into you in that situation because he is going to wound you on 5s. Like that is one situation where your melee hammer unit might be okay getting heroic by Amintar.
Get real dirty Harry on a Necron player with Knights.
Yeah. It just spin the wheel, see what happens. And then that one guy, John, has one more question, which is which GSC army rule has been your favorite in it? Crossfire. Yeah.
I fucking love Crossfire.
I think Crossfire is everybody's favorite.
Because of that one Winter SEO video where he had a fucking crash out over it, which to this day is my favorite piece of 4K content ever.
And I guess Lilithar has one question, which is what are your thoughts on 4 bigs and Kairos and Chaos Knights? That feels like
Kairos feels a lot worse than another big would.
Yeah.
I think. Plus you have to run you have to run blue or pink horrors for that. Ugh, fuck that.
Yeah. I think Nurgle is just the better Demons ally because it has better battle line support. If you're going to run Demons and Chaos Knights.
All right. I think that brings us.
That is it. That is all of our questions.
Wonderful. All right, everybody. Say goodbye to the wonderful visages of Brian's apartment. I'll be back home in Scotland next week if I'm on. If I end up winning Manchester, I might take the day off.
You should.
I hope. We'll see. I'll do my best. I hope everybody has had a wonderful time. Nathan, do you want to do your bit?
Yep, we're going to do the Cult of the High Five call-outs. If you join the most expensive tier of the Patreon, which is the Crisp High Five tier, which is $15 a month, you get a bunch of in-person benefits, and then you also get to customize your own thank you messages. We've a lovely Google Drive sheet that I use to do this, and I just do it, and it's fun. except for Innes. Innes doesn't enjoy it, but I enjoy
I don't enjoy fun. No.
Yeah.
I'm a bad person.
Innes, in fact, hates fun. It is the thing
Can't
that
stand
Innes
it.
hates the most.
That's why I have a Blood Moon tattoo and a GSC tattoo, because I hate fun.
Yeah. You know what? You're not wrong. Also, it was very funny that Innes took the interpretation of Innes should win Manchester, and it was really what I said is, if you win Manchester, you should just take a day off, is what I meant.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Strike while the iron's hot. Get that content, right?
True.
I too love Blood Moon. I think that everybody should have non-basic lands or mountains. People are going to ask me one day what my tattoo means, and I'll say it means that non-basic lands are fucking mountains.
And then they'll look at you very confused.
Yep, and that's fine too.
Innes had fun once. Yes, Joshi. Innes did have fun once, and it was the worst day of his life.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Back to the call-outs.
It's the day I lost my NDA.
All right. Ugh. Thank you to Christopher. The Deceiver has written my current diet plan, and the Nightbringer is driving the struggle bus into the coughing baby Irvine.
Let's go, milk baby.
Let's go. Thank you to Willow Weeks. Thank you to Dan F. Thank you to Luke Harridans taking the subway McCarthy. Thank you to David Shrug Emoji Clark. There is somebody whose name, by the way, in the ELO is that shrug emoji, and it is very funny to see. I love it.
As it should be.
Thank you to Exhausted. Thank you to James H. Thank you to Colton, Dan F. Miller. Thank you to Fungus. Thank you to John V8 Gang. So your rules are just on all the time with no restrictions. Damn, that's crazy. Thank you to Cam F. Dan Morton. Hog emoji, hog emoji. Thank you to Lady Malice's Footstool. Thank you to Josiah Gettle. Thank you to Frankie. Thank you to Isaac. Tonight on Stat Check, Nathan dealt with people who don't follow instruction. Anthony, here's the thing. Vanilla is now playing 5 units more durable and dangerous than Angron. And Innes remembered how to play a big brain army wizards in quotation marks.
So here's the thing. I never remembered. I did not know what I was doing a single time. It did not matter at any point. I simply drove the big man forward and shot things until they stopped breathing.
Sometimes that's just a good plan. And Magnus is real good at that plan.
Tom, he had 2 fire prisms. They successfully killed a Terminator between them. And then died.
That's fucked up. Ouch. Damn.
He fired the first one. It got 14 shots on its blast gun. Because it rolled double 6. Successfully handed me 3 saves. Killed a Terminator. And then the other one fired through it because it couldn't see me. And I passed the save against the single shot that it got. And then they both died.
Damn. All right. Thank you to maybe Defilers will save us from the Catan. They won't. That's not a thing.
They will not, no. Defilers will maybe put you under new management if they're as good as Catan, but
sure. Thank you to Thomas. Tried bake. They at least have the good graces before I go to this next one of being on like 160 millimeter bases, if you believe the pixel measurers out there.
I try to believe things like that.
Thank you to Thomas. Tried baking a cake, accidentally replaced the baking soda with salt. There's a lesson in there somewhere for cohesion. That's fucking brutal.
You should replace more things in your life with salt, Thomas. You're a very positive and upbeat person most of the time. I'm lying.
Please don't replace. Please don't take Innes's advice. Please don't replace.
Don't take my advice ever. No.
Don't replace your positivity with salt.
Worst day of my life.
I took Innes's advice once and it fucking got me wrecked in the head.
We also got you a 4-1.
True. You're not wrong. I mean, yeah, you're not
This
wrong.
whole operation was my idea. Let's start with that.
Shut up, Innes. Thank you to Steven. I ran a Void Dragon instead of Nightbringer for an entire event, and I can confirm the Void Dragon is considerably worse than expected as a replacement.
The Void Dragon, Mr. I roll 2s.
Yep. Thank you to Tom, GorgonCon, Submarine Services H. Thank you to, of course, Necrons are doing well. Just roll 4s. How hard could it be? Thank you to, thanks for being here, folks. Thanks to Floof. I knew I forgot to change something, Cox, which is either you changed your opinion or you forgot to change your title. I don't know. Thank you to Come With Me on a Gucci Adventure, trademarked. Thank you to Nerfed for crimes committed by better players. Thank you to John Garza. Thank you to Henry. Penguins are flightless birds, and I am shocked that Innes would dare tell Anthony to fly like a bird, the wizard. Thank you to Penny the Penguin will be very sad if Stat Check ends. Please do not make Penny the Penguin sad. This is your penguin fact.
We will do our
Thank you
best
to
not to make
Matt.
any sad at any point.
It's true. Thank you to Matt. We've done 172 episodes of this show. I don't think it's ending anytime soon.
No,
if
I
that
feel like
is any
money.
indicator. True. I also still enjoy hanging out with Innes and Anthony every Tuesday.
Me too. I love you guys.
Aw, that's like the nicest thing I've ever heard Innes say on air. I won't lie. Thank you to Matthew, Pain Engine Aficionado, and thank you to Vivian. And that is all of them. Thank you to everyone out there who is still watching as I complete the shenanigans that are our call-outs. Yeah. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I hope Innes wins Manchester, just, so that on Tuesday I can see him gloat endlessly. That'll be fun.
It will be very funny. I hope everyone has a good weekend. If you're at a tournament this weekend, very best of luck. This cat comes on command. If you put your hand out like this, it just like runs to rub its head against it. All right, everybody. Nathan, give me 1 second while I look for the outro video. You can say the thing.
Bye-bye.